Watching SEC All Day, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts.
It's been 46 years since they posted a top 15 matchup here in Como. Mizzou is 5-0. They've got a nasty defense, the leading rusher in the country, and a belief that they can take out anyone. The challenge is the familiar script A and crimson trim on those road white uniforms. It's Bama. Star players are back healthy. Jam Miller at running back. Tim Keenan has the physical presence manning the D-line. Mizzou is out to prove themselves as a true college football playoff contender today. From Faurot Field here at Memorial Stadium, we welcome you to the SEC on ABC as ABC College Football is presented by Starbucks. Top 15 matchup, number 14 Tigers, 5-0, hosting the incredible momentum of number 8 Alabama coming off huge back-to-back wins. And there is Alabama getting ready to take the field for Coach Kalen DeBoer. As we say good afternoon, everybody. Thrilled you're with us. Joe Tessitore, as always, with my partner, Jesse Palmer. I love this matchup. Yeah. Mizzou's a good team, but when you look at who they've played, when you look at some of the way this season has gone, I think a lot of people view this as a show-me game in the show-me state to prove it for Mizzou. Meanwhile, Alabama, the big win a couple weeks ago against Georgia. Right. A very good ranked Vandy team last week. Yeah. Now size this up for us.
Well, two emotional wins and emotional games, those ones you're referencing by Alabama. So what do they have in the tank for this one here? Now you're taking on a top 15 team. You're going on the road. Missouri's won 15 games straight right here. Missouri is physical. They can run the ball. They can stop the run. I know Bama's going to be tested physically. Emotionally, I want to know what they have in the tank. If you're Missouri, you've got a chance to prove that you're one of the elite teams in the SEC. Back-to-back 10-plus win seasons, but when these two teams played last year, Missouri lost 34-0. I think Missouri has the roster to win this game. They've got the playmakers on both sides of the ball, and they can prove that they can be a challenger in this conference, maybe reach the college football playoff.
Yeah, they've also had this very unique schedule. As you see Mizzou getting ready to come out here. 6 straight home games to open the season. Jesse mentioned it. 15 straight wins here. Coach Drink says, we don't need lucky bounces. We need to just play our game. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Awesome scene here at Mizzou. Let's say hello to Katie George.
Thanks, Tess. Coach Drink, you're 5-0 ahead of your biggest test. What's been your message to your guys these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, the game's played between the white lines. There's a Mizzou factor here. We got to just be who we are, and hopefully that's good enough.
Your run game versus their run defense has been talked about all week. What do you think of that matchup?
We'll find out on the first play.
Thanks for the time, Best.
Katie, he mentions that Mizzou factor. Jesse, you mentioned it off the start. A 15-game home win streak. A team that's 5-0, and you just can feel a certain energy in the air here at Faurot Field. Bama won the toss. They elected to defer. Jones and folks are back deep to see if they can field an opportunity from Connor Tulte for Bama. And this will be returned by Folks as he weaves his way out towards the 22-yard line. And that'll give us the opportunity, Jesse, to take a look at Bo Prabula, who started his career as a Pennsylvania native at Penn State.
Yeah, and probably one of the bigger surprises in the SEC this year. He's been tremendous at the quarterback spot for Missouri. Very, very accurate. He's playing very poised. He's a good athlete that can keep defenses honest. Now, we know Missouri running the football, that's their identity, but you just kind of get the feeling, Joe, win a game like this, Bo Prabula is going to have to do some really good things with his arm as well.
Second in the country in completion percentage at nearly 76%. Of course, the guy behind him is one of the best there is. Here is Ahmad Hardy. as he is the country's leading rusher. The impact players are brought to you by Fairfield by Marriott.
Well, no surprise there. Coach Drink just told Katie we'll find out on the first play, and it was a run right to Hardy. He is so physical. Kevin Coleman's a weapon at receiver. Justin Jefferson, a tackling machine for Bama. And Bray Hubbard getting tons of turnovers.
Prabula straight ahead, just slashing through the middle of that Alabama defense. It's a first down, Mizzou.
And that's a designed run that time. It's a quarterback draw. He's got Ahmad Hardy out in front getting a block. They run the ball in different ways. It's not just Ahmad Hardy. You're going to see some Jamal Roberts running back as well, but Bo Prabula and his legs, big factor in this offense as well.
12-yard run by Prabula. Play action. Prabula's going to tuck and run. Katie, what do we know about the offensive line situation for Mizzou?
Well, Tess, left tackle Caden Green is back today after missing the last 2 games. Green had a meniscus repair prior to Week 4's game against South Carolina. His meniscus has recovered well, but he's been dealing with turf toe too. But I'm told he's in a good place physically ahead of today's game, guys. That's a big return.
Yeah, that's a big deal, Katie, because he's their best pass protector. Outside to the left, he's lined up against LT Overton, the best D lineman for Alabama, so a huge boost. Their O-line play right over here, this matchup, getting big number 70 back.
See him opposite big number 22 as Hardy tries to take it off right tackle, and he does so and scoots out of bounds at midfield. It's another first down for the Tigers.
Well, this is the superpower of Ahmad Hardy, his ability to break tackles. If you don't wrap your arms around his legs, he is not going down. He has unbelievable contact balance, leads the nation, having forced 48 missed tackles this year. Alabama's defense, man, they've got their work cut out for them.
And keep it on the ground with Prabula as a good read, and look at Bo Prabula as he cuts back in for extra yardage.
Well, you're seeing the effect that Ahmad Hardy's success is already having on this defense because they're faking a run right up the middle here, and both of these defenders, they hesitate, and that allows Prabula to get outside. He had Norfleet, the tight end, to help seal back on Bray Hubbard, and there's the athleticism and the open field running ability that Prabula has.
I don't know that he didn't step out of bounds there for a moment when he cut back in with that right foot. It goes for a 23-yard run, but he was very close to that sideline. Now they get the snap off, play actions, but nothing but runs until this. Their big, talented tight end, Brett Norfleet. You can't do better than that. M-I-Z. A flawless opening drive by Mizzou.
When you've got a tight end who's 6'6", just throw it up and let him go high pointed and climb up over a DB. And that's exactly what the athletic tight end Brett Norfleet did. What an impressive opening drive by Missouri.
As Robert Meyer, the true freshman, adds the extra point.
Well, we talked about Bray Hubbard being an impact player, number 18, and he has been, but physically, he can't match up with a tight end that's 4 inches taller than him. Really good location on the throw by Prabula. And here's a tight end that was highly recruited coming out of high school. He was a good pitcher. Could throw 90 miles an hour in high school, but his athleticism showing up here early in Missouri. They cut through this Bama defense like a hot knife through butter on this opening drive.
You know, you mentioned Norfleet. He's really a traditional tight end, but in this day and age of what we're used to in the passing game, to see a 6'6", 260-pounder who still can be a threat downfield striding in the passing game, what a weapon.
And such a weapon, too, when you run the football as well as they do and you play fake like they did there, it just freezes linebackers and safeties for a split second, and part of that helped Norfleet clear him on the wheel route. Now Alabama defensively on the sideline, reeling a little bit. They got to get locked in.
5 straight runs and then the touchdown pass, and that is how this top 15 matchup opens up. Lottie Brooks, the return man for Alabama, and he's met at the 22. So the story of Ty Simpson, his first year as the starting quarterback for Alabama. We were down there in Tallahassee. You know what happened week 1. It was a miserable day. But since then, it's been star power.
He's playing at a Heisman level in the last 4 games. It's just as simple as that. Making really good, quick decisions. He's playing on time. The accuracy, though, is what stands out to me, Joe. If you take away the drops in the last 4 games, he's completing 81% of his passes since Florida State.
Nice to have Jam Miller back healthy at running back, but good swarm up front. Sterling Webb down the line for the tackle from Mizzou.
I think the best individual matchup in this game is the outstanding left tackle, Caden Proctor from Alabama, probably a top 10 pick in next year's draft, going up against Zion Young, the Michigan State transfer. He's the best pass rusher for Missouri. You're going to see him line up all over the field, but when these two guys go toe-to-toe, that's a matchup we're going to see in the future on Sundays as well.
I was just talking to an NFL scout about 15 minutes ago. It's exactly what he was saying as well. The scouts who are here are drooling over that matchup. Quickly into space, but blown up immediately is Jeremy Bernard. What a heck of a play as this defense is firing off. Dalen Carnell with the tackle for loss, and a flag is down.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 9 for taunting. The 15-yard penalty is enforced from the dead ball spot and includes an automatic first down.
Well, that's Zion Young. That's who we just pointed out as an impact player in this one. And obviously, Missouri defensively here very, very fired up early. And you see he just kind of stands over top of the Bama receiver, and that's what gets the flag. That would have set up 3rd and long, and because of that penalty now, the sticks moves for Alabama. You see Jeremy Bernard laying on the ground. Here comes big number 9. He's got to know better than that.
It would have been 3rd and 15. Instead, it's first down, Alabama. Jam Miller, he was tripped up, barely got back to the line. It was Carnell again knifing in.
Yeah, Dalen Carnell is such a unique chess piece for defensive coordinator Corey Batoon, because he's 6'2", 225 pounds. He's big and physical, and he plays in the nickel. So when you try to throw bubble screens and quick stuff, receivers can't block him. They're not big enough. Tight ends even have their hands full with him. He's basically like having a linebacker, an extra linebacker on the field, and that time a great job identifying the run and getting downhill.
Only positive yardage for Bama so far was that penalty. Here's Simpson as he goes underneath to Miller, who was wrapped up immediately after a gain of just a couple of yards that time by Newsom.
So we got a 3rd down in an obvious passing situation, and this is where Missouri is going to move Zion Young around. He could be outside. They might line him up on the inside. But this crowd noise, Joe, it's now going to become a factor.
Third down and 8. Simpson steps up and gets it complete past midfield for a first down to Brooks, the true freshman.
Nice job by Lottie Brooks. He actually had to jump up over top of the DB and make this play. You see the pressure coming from Young. He was lined up to the right that time. Simpson does a good job just stepping up, and defender had his back turned to the football. He never saw it thrown. The true freshman makes a big play on 3rd down.
18-yard reception by Lottie Brooks. Simpson on the boot with a blocker in front, and Simpson will stride out close to that line to gain, maybe a yard short where he stepped out.
I think the mobility of Ty Simpson in this one is really, really big, too. We talked about Prabule and what he can do. It's not so much on designed runs in this game, I think, for Simpson, but being able to extend plays when things break down. Missouri as a defense is getting pressure on 50% of their opponent dropbacks this season. So Ty Simpson's going to have to be really good in this game off schedule. And by the way, he's been one of the best in the nation so far in that category.
Motion Miller back in on 2nd and 1. And Simpson to pass. And he gets his tight end, Josh Cuevas, right in that mid pocket for a first down.
And that's a really cool concept outside. They've got Cuevas at tight end. and he's running a hitch route at first, and he's just trying to get his defender to forget about him in coverage, and then he's able to turn it upfield. He's up here, he's going to run a hitch. This defender's going to back up, and then that allows Cuevas to get down the field. Really nice play design in the pass game by Ryan Grubb.
And what looked like a struggling drive early, then the penalty saved them. All of a sudden is Bama now on their 8th play and 60 yards. There's pressure in that C gap. Simpson downfield, and it's overthrown and nearly intercepted. Lottie Brooks was the closest man, but Stephen Hall was there defensively.
Well, there were 2 free rushers that time running right at Ty Simpson. He had to get rid of that football, and very lucky Stephen Hall, the transfer from Washington State, wasn't able to pick that off in the end zone.
Miller on 2nd and 10 as he weaves his way towards the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down from there.
That's a really nice job of communicating at the line of scrimmage by Ty Simpson, fighting this crowd noise and communicating, make sure everybody's on the same page. Now setting up 3rd down, and in this area in the red zone, Ty Simpson's legs become a big factor.
3rd and 5. Simpson. Flag is down as he connects with Horton on the in-cut route.
Well, he knew he had a free play. Zion Young jumped offside, so he was going to rip that over to Horton quick.
Offside. Defense number 9. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
So 2 penalties on Zion Young on this drive defensively from Missouri have really helped them here. This is the offside here. Drinkwitz was yelling at the referee saying he thought that was really on Bama. After the tap by Newberry, he thought maybe Proctor flinched a little bit early. But fresh set of downs here now for Bama.
It was Cam Dewberry, the left guard, who was simply giving the signal of the go of the snap to the center. And with that, you saw Zion Young move. So it's 1st and goal, Alabama. Tenth play of Alabama's opening drive. 1st and goal. Miller probing the middle of that line, and he only picks up a couple of yards.
This is going to be tough sledding for Bama. Down here in the red zone, you've got to be able to run the ball when the passing windows are really small. The problem is Missouri is statistically the best rush defense right now in college football, giving up just 62 rushing yards a game. Up front, they are big and physical and deep, and they are violent. This is a very big moment now situationally for Alabama.
Simpson on 2nd goal. And Riley takes it across the line for a touchdown reception.
Been really impressed with Kevin Riley, this redshirt freshman. He's been a change of pace back, but one thing he's great at doing is catching the football. He's lined up here. He's going to fake like he's running to the flat and then cross defenders' faces for that angle route. He's been good at running to the outside with his speed, but really gives this running back room in this offense, I think, a different dimension with his ability to catch the football. So after a couple Missouri penalties, Alabama kind of got some new life on that drive, and they pay it off, answering Missouri's score.
Extra point by Talty, and Bama is now 24 out of 25 in the red zone this season with 18 touchdowns. And with that, we are all tied up 7-7 here at Mizzou. So this is what Faurot Field at Memorial Stadium's north end zone is eventually going to look like. Wow. The historic Rock M is going to be surrounded by premium suites and this amazing concourse. For right now, it's a big old construction site as we play this top 15 matchup. But that is going to be something special, and it'd be great to have the Rock M back.
Yeah, I like that they're keeping that. They're keeping the tradition here.
So, Jesse, Missouri's first drive, they never even faced a third down.
No, they started running the ball very, very well. It was Ahmad Hardy here breaking a tackle from L.T. Overton. They ran for 52 yards. A big chunk of it came on this play here by Bo Purbuel. And then a beautiful throw to the tight end, Norfleet down the sideline. Capped it off. It's going to be really important, I think, on this drive. Alabama has got to get more physical up front. They have to try and find a way to slow down this rushing attack of Missouri.
Of course, Alabama answered with a long drive of their own, went 11 plays. That was capped by the Kevin Riley touchdown reception. Here's the nation's leading rusher, Ahmad Hardy.
And that is the bread and butter run play for Missouri. It's the outside zone. The O-linemen, they all take wide pass. Watch the center get way out here. And they're all just trying to get in the way of somebody and just lean on people. And then Hardy can just sort of pick his hole. And when he sees a crease or he sees a cutback, he hits it. They run that play over and over and over. And this is a really good offensive line that feels that zone so well. And these running backs do a great job pressing the hole and being patient.
Second down run by Hardy as he tries to find some room out across the 30-yard line. Bray Hubbard with the tackle. And eventually, Jesse, I assume it's going to take somebody on that Alabama front to really penetrate vertically to blow things up against it.
You need to cut it off and try to slow the momentum down. And here's a situation on third down, too. Where can Bama find the pass rush, right? They only have 6 sacks this year, second fewest in the SEC. And as a result, Kane Womack, the D coordinator, he's had to be blitzing a little bit more to try to simulate pressure. They want to hit Purbuel.
This is Mizzou's first third down they have faced so far today. Purbuel, he is backed up, and then he's going to launch it downfield, but it's far beyond Johnson.
Well, it was a really nice job that time of the middle linebacker, Justin Jefferson. He sees the incoming drag route and then passes it off to Deshaun Jones. I think that's initially, Jefferson's right here in the middle. That's initially, I think, where Purbuel wanted to go with the football. He hunts it up, and then he passes it off to Jones, takes the rhythm away. A little bit of pressure forces Purbuel outside, and it falls incomplete. Nice job of recognizing the route concept in the back end from Justin Jefferson, who had a huge game a week ago against Vanderbilt.
So Connor Wesselman on for his first punt of the afternoon. Cole Adams, the reliable return man with the fair catch at about the 32. The SEC's passing leader in yards, Ty Simpson, back out there for Alabama when we return.
ABC College Football is presented by the Starbucks Coffee Company and in part by Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Last week, Alabama avenged that loss a year ago to Vanderbilt. Looked good. And Jesse, it leads us to the conversation on Ty Simpson. You see out here for the second drive of the game. He threw an interception early last week.
Yeah.
Went for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. Settled in, got to business, and grew into it as he has done all season long. Simpson, as he gets it complete right at the sticks to Bernard.
Well, it's a good point, Joe, what you're talking about with Simpson, because you do have to be resilient at that position to have success. You got to be able to turn the page, and he did that against Vanderbilt. Maybe against Florida State in game 1, that interception might have burned him a little bit more.
Yes, exactly.
But I think because he's had so much success now in these last 4 games, he's just playing with so much more confidence. He's the most efficient quarterback right now in the conference.
10-yard completion moments ago, and now he gives to Riley. Katie.
You know, guys, each week Ty Simpson's also gotten more comfortable with Ryan Grubb as his play caller. Last week during the Vandy game, Simpson told Grubb, give me the ball, I can make something happen. And Simpson said Grubb called 8 straight pass plays. They moved the ball down the field. He said the fact that Grubb trusted me enough to be aggressive in his play calls just speaks to how the trust has grown with us every single game.
No doubt, Katie, you have to have success to get the green light to be able to do that. But already early this year, they played in some big games. The way Ty Simpson played on the road at Georgia and those types of performances, that earns you that right.
Empty set here on 2nd and 7, and downfield is Meadows, and he took a hit, and flags are down. And the medical staff is out there immediately to check on him.
That was Marvin Burks for Missouri in the back end making the hit. And a lot of people now just holding their breaths, wanting to make sure.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 1.
Meadows is hopefully okay.
Under video review.
So obviously great concern here for Derek Meadows, the Alabama receiver. We'll take a short break. Moments ago, this is what happened on the field as Derek Meadows, the tall freshman receiver for Alabama, took that massive hit from Marvin Burks, who's been ejected from the game for targeting. Katie?
Yeah, Tess, Jeff Allen, the head athletic trainer for Alabama, got to Meadows immediately while he was face down on the field. They stabilized his neck, rolled him over onto his back. Once they stabilized the neck when he was face up, they started testing his mobility and movement of his hands and his legs. He was able to move both, and they walked off the field on his own power. 6'5"
freshman from Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. Ty Simpson gets it in space to Horton.
We're seeing Alabama coming out throwing a lot on first down, and we talked about in this game just how hard it is to run against Missouri. Alabama's not trying very much. They're putting it in Ty Simpson's hands. He told the story earlier, and Katie did too, about how he wants the ball. He wants the opportunities to make these throws, and Ryan Grubb's giving it to him right now, especially early in drives.
Riley on 2nd and 3 as Kevin Riley continues to have himself a good season backing up Jam Miller.
That's the change of pace that I think he brings this running back room. Bama's got a bunch of guys that are big and physical, but Riley's got some burst to him. Only 190 pounds, but his job being patient. Once he sees the crease, he just hits it.
You see Miller comes back into the game. He had 136 yards and a touchdown a week ago against Vanderbilt. He was out earlier this year, and you can see the difference he makes with the statistical comparison. First down with blockers in front as Jam Miller able to have a burst up the sideline.
Well, that's the difference to me. I think he brings a different dimension. He's their best combination of big and fast. So he can run between the tackles, but one place Bama hasn't had a ton of success running this year is outside. I think now that 26 is back, he gives them a little bit in the run game. He's also their best pass protecting running back. He can also catch the football. So the offense is just much more complete now that they've got Jam Miller.
They're going to mark him out about a football length short of that line to gain. So it's 2nd and 1. And the freedom of a play caller on 2nd and 1 as you see Simpson looking over and now brings Kevin Riley in and then calls a timeout as the play clock was running down. So that is Alabama's first timeout exhausted here today.
Been really impressed watching Ty Simpson early this year. I talked about how he's playing at a Heisman level. He's doing so many things well, including anticipation. 3rd and 5 against Georgia. Feeling 2 defenders squeeze on the quick out route, finding Horton down the boundary for a big play and a big down. He's also been so creative. When things get off schedule, he's been on the same page with his receivers. Little bootleg, make a guy miss. Ryan Williams mirrors him in the back of the end zone against Vanderbilt for a score. And then finally, tremendously tough. You got to beat the free rusher on 3rd and 10 on the road. Takes a big hit, hits Isaiah Horton for a strike. He's just playing at a high level. He's making quick decisions. He's throwing the football right now with a ton of conviction. And that's why he's doing a great job, I think, fitting the football into very small windows under duress. But this is a completely different quarterback, Joe, than the one you, Katie, and I saw week 1 against Florida State.
Jesse, Katie mentioned the relationship with offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Grubb turned to you guys the other day and said, I still think there's a lot of meat left on the bone, to be honest. I think there's things we're still figuring out with Ty Simpson, and he's already playing this well. 2nd and about the length of a football. Coming off the timeout. A roaring crowd here in Como. Riley motions back in, and he gets the handoff And it's going to depend on the spot here as Zion Young was tracking him down the line of scrimmage.
And Zion Young's working against a true freshman right tackle in Michael Carroll. And Zion Young at 6'5", 262 pounds is so long and athletic, and he's just able to use his leverage and just track down the field to now set up 3rd and short.
And we're on 3rd down, and that'll move the chains for the Crimson Tide.
Well, just having his physicality, right? 221 pounds to get low, drive the legs, drive the pile, and pick up that first. It's a big win. Situationally, I think Jam Miller is going to give a lot to this offense, especially down here in the red zone. Remember, he can also catch the football as well.
Precious last few yards of real estate you see there from behind the defense. 1st down, Alabama from the 14. Simpson to the end zone. He goes, and that's beyond Jeremy Bernard.
That's a really nice job in coverage back there by Dalen Carnell. And remember, now with Marvin Burks out of the game because of targeting, you get a little bit more inexperience on the back end for a secondary that has had issues this year with some coverage busts, Joe.
Flag is down back at the 23, Jesse.
Illegal shift. Offense. The quarterback and tailback both shifted and never reset prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Pre-snap, they had moved Jam Miller out to the top of your screen, almost in looking like he was going to go for some type of distraction play well behind the line of scrimmage, and then they flag him. That's the first Bama penalty. Simpson on 1st and 15 as he checks down to Miller.
So now setting up another big 3rd down here, and Missouri's defense wants to force the field goal. Obviously, they've got to find a way to affect Ty Simpson here on this play. They've got to be able to get upfield, and they've got to be able to get after him. It's 2nd and 12, actually. With this D-line, they've got one-on-ones to win up front against an Alabama O-line that is playing with some inexperienced players, some younger players on their offensive line.
Coming to the end of an intense 1st quarter. Top 15 matchup here in Como. First time that's happened since the 70s. Northfleet had the touchdown. Riley had a touchdown for the Tide. As SEC and ABC presented by Starbucks will be back after a message from our ABC stations.
Coach DeBoer, after Mizzou's opening drive, what have you liked about the response from your team on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, exactly that. The offense doing their job, putting a good drive together, using some clock. Really feel like they settled in, and then the defense getting out there and getting the quick 3 and out.
We appreciate the time.
And note the black hoodie. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Start of the 2nd quarter, 2nd down. Simpson incomplete, looking for Ryan Williams. Here comes 3rd and long. The black hoodie for DeBoer, you know.
Why the black hoodie,
laugh, but this has become a thing down in T-Town, and Tuscaloosa, the legend of the black hoodie. Jesse, look at the record.
He's like the Emperor in Star Wars. You just got to leave that thing on. Record's so much better for Alabama. And you know, football, you know, like in this sport, everybody is just a creature of habit. Everybody's superstitious. He's got it on today.
They're down in 12. A-gap pressure is picked up. Strike to the end zone is caught for a touchdown by Isaiah Horton. A 16-yard touchdown strike, Simpson to Horton.
And that was a fantastic job by Ty Simpson, freezing this free safety with his eyes, just keeping him in the middle of the field right here. He's got to hold him so that up top, Horton in motion, going to be running the post into the back of the end zone. Fantastic work, using his eyes to manipulate the defense. It just gives him enough time to fit that football in a pretty tight window.
Keep in mind that was 3rd and long as Tulty adds the extra point. And they are 3 for 3 on 3rd down, Jesse.
Well, Isaiah Horton was a bit slow getting going early this year, first 2 games, but they've got him rolling now. At 6'4", the big physical receiver transfer out of Miami on these in-breaking routes can use that frame. Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator and play caller, loves it. That's exactly how you dial it up. But man, I think this is the best receiving group in the SEC. It's not just Ryan Williams and his explosive playmaking ability or Jeremy Bernard and his consistency and versatility, but now that they've got Isaiah Horton going as well, there's a lot to contend with for this Missouri defense that, remember, is now down their starting free safety Marvin Burks because of the targeting penalty.
You see all the offense we've had so far in the game summary. Add to it now that for Alabama, back-to-back 11-play drives. Simpson's 9 of 12 with 2 touchdown passes, 15 touchdown passes on the year, framed against just 1 interception. As the sun peeks out here and Demarion Folks takes the return and is met at the 20. Of course, Eli Drinkwitz has had a lot of success here at Mizzou in recent years, since past 2.5 years, 26-5. But Jesse, it has been moments like this, the step-up moments, specifically last year, A&M and Alabama, have gone south.
Well, and we talked to him this week and asked him about that. What's the message based on some of those results in the past? Is there a rah-rah speech? Is this about revenge? He said no. It's what he told Katie at the start of the game. We've got a Mizzou factor. We've just got to do what we do. We believe that we have the horses to win this football game. We can be physical, and that's what they've got to do now, Joe. They got to get back to running the football and getting Hardy going.
Ahmad Hardy doesn't have the size, but does he ever have the physicality and drive? Nation's leading rusher is forced out of bounds after a yard and change. And with the schedule they've played and the results they've had this year, they're top 5 in the country in total offense and total defense to this point.
They've been playing really good complementary football, but no question, this is easily the toughest test they've had this season.
2nd and 9, Prabula. He is pressured, but somehow he kept his footing and will get positive yardage out of it.
Well, that time, Kane Womack, the D coordinator from Alabama, dialed up the safety blitz. It was Keon Sabb that originally got to Prabula, but he was able to keep it alive. Pressure's coming right here. Keon Sabb has had a lot of success with pressures, but Prabula, great job just staying poised, using that speed to get to the outside, close to a 1st down.
Incredible that he ended up getting just over 8 yards the way that play developed. And now it's a 3rd and 1 as you see big LT Overton looking over at Prabula. Hardy on 3rd and 1 as he bounces off an initial would-be tackler, and that's a great example of his running style.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Keenan that time is clogging up the middle for Alabama, but I said this again, if you don't get your arms around number 29's legs, he's not going down. We'll see him just running right up the middle. It bounces off of Keenan right there in his own lineman, and he just keeps chugging and moving forward.
Kelby Collins, who is a reserve interior defensive lineman for Alabama, is down, and the medical team is taking a look at him. And with that, we will take a quick timeout. What a scene here at Mizzou, and what a day of SEC All Day on ABC, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Red River's coming your way after this. It'll be, of course, at the famed Cotton Bowl, the State Fair, number 6 Oklahoma against Texas, and then Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. We were just with Georgia last week. Now number 10 Georgia takes on Auburn in that great grand rivalry. Right here it is Mizzou with the ball. A 1st down for the Tigers, trailing by 7. Prabula downfield, and it is intercepted.
Oh, he dropped it, Joe.
Oh, boy, right at the last second, he couldn't hold on. Dijon Lee.
It was incomplete pass, 2nd down.
It was such a good play by the true freshman, Dijon Lee. He was watching the eyes of Prabula track the ball. He's a 6'4" corner, Joe.
He has the ball going down, but through the process of this interception, he couldn't hold on to it.
Oh, man, that would have been the biggest play he's made in this 1st half of the season. He's a guy who's really coming on for this defense. After that first game against Florida State, Joe, remember, Squirrel White took him deep. Since then, though, he's been making a bunch of plays.
And now what does Bo Prabula do with a second chance here? A should have been interception. The 6'4" true freshman couldn't hold on. They go with Kevin Coleman. They love to try to get him into space, but he is cut down immediately by Hill Green.
Well, now an obvious third down situation with Kevin Coleman gingerly coming off the field. That's bad news because he's normally a guy they look for in this situation. But here's where getting Caden Green back at left tackle for Missouri is really big. In these obvious passing situations, having your best pure pass protector really should help give Bo Prabula a lot of confidence.
There's the 325-pound Missouri native. He's been out injured, but back to action here today against this talented Bama defense. 3rd and 8 for Bo Prabula and the Tigers. And he is sacked. He is brought down. And it was Keeley, and a flag is down right at that spot.
I think it's LT Overton working on the inside versus the right guard, Curtis Peagler.
Holding. Offense number 77. That penalty is declined. Result of play is 4th down.
Well, LT Overton is one of the best players on Alabama's defense. Right inside here, one-on-one, he's going to get the push. And he's a guy, Joe, that could have gone into the NFL draft last season. People thought he was going to be a top 50 pick. This year, he's been a little bit inconsistent. At times he's getting out of gaps, but when you watch the film against Wisconsin and Georgia, he looks like a first-round pick, and he's making a huge play early on 3rd down. Just the 7th sack this year, by the way, for Bama's defense.
Musselman punting away. Will Adams calls for the fair catch. And this week, so many of us in college football, and especially around the SEC, were so saddened to hear that Mark Womack had passed away at just 70 years old. Mark was the SEC's executive associate commissioner, and in so many ways he represented so much of what makes this conference special. The culture, the passion, the sense of family that he had, the warm embrace of a friend welcoming you back time and again. Mark Womack helped shape the SEC, working in the conference for 47 years, and all of us on this crew, we extend our condolences to Mark's family and the entire SEC family. He will be missed. Ty Simpson being pressured, and it was batted away right in his face that time by Zion Young.
Yeah, again, at 6'5", he's got those long arms, and he's able to swat that thing down. They're moving him from left to right. We've seen him line up on Caden Proctor, and now, more recently, he's over here on the right-hand side. He splits right that time between the tight end and the right tackle, gets the left paw on it. Now setting up 2nd and 10.
Play clock counting down as Simpson checks the protection at the line. Miller, as he lowers the shoulder and is across the 35-yard line. So the first couple drives for Alabama, Jesse, we know how Ty Simpson was able to manage things.
Well, and also respond to Missouri's touchdown drive right out of the gate. Ty Simpson's carving him up throwing the football because Missouri's not getting enough pressure on him. They've got to do a better job affecting him with a pass rush.
They've been perfect on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 4. Simpson on 3rd down. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to tuck and run and have the 1st down and a heck of a lot more as he gets upended past midfield by Catalan.
Well, that time, Missouri, they just got out of their pass rush lanes. Really bad discipline, and there was a giant gap right up the middle for Ty Simpson to get through. First off, great job handling the crowd noise, changing the play, changing the protection, getting guys lined up, and showing you the poise. And then a really good decision here. You'll see the pass rush. Everybody's outside. I mean, you could drive a truck through that. Ty Simpson takes off. Mobility, I think, still a little bit underrated for Ty Simpson. He's not the dynamic runner that Jalen Milroe was a year ago, but he can still hurt you.
That was his longest run of the season at 20 yards. Jam Miller struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage and then falls forward for a yard.
And I think the thing NFL scouts are going to love about Ty Simpson is the poise. And we talk about that, right? You saw it at Georgia a few weeks ago. Sanford Stadium with that crowd noise at night, it was bonkers. And he was just very calm, especially on third down, getting guys lined up, changing protections, changing route concepts, being very, very calm. You saw another example of that right there. This guy's only been a starter, this is his 6th game?
Yes.
And he's just growing up so much each and every week.
And much like he's done today, he managed long drives against Georgia, had touchdown passes in the first quarter, the second quarter, at the end of 14-play drives in that big win at Georgia. 2nd and 9, and he gets this complete for a first down. That goes to Isaiah Horton, who had the 16-yard touchdown.
Well, and you got to be tough, because that time Kevin Riley, a running back, he misses the block. There's a safety blitz coming here. This is Kevin Riley. He's got to pick this up. He doesn't get to it, but it doesn't phase Ty Simpson. You see how he's late? He's seeing the linebacker, and still he's able to sit in there and deliver an accurate throw.
And
there's
he's
so
really,
many facets of him that's getting it's really impressive to watch.
Well, another facet is how he's improved under pressure. Look at what happened against Florida State. Since then, 63% completion percentage when facing pressure. Riley goes ahead to the 28-yard line. Of course, you get into the meat of the SEC season. And remember, this is 3 straight weeks now of facing a ranked SEC team. He says, last week was a heavyweight fight. This week is a heavyweight fight. That is the stretch. It's like the NFL, he says. Riley on 2nd and 6, just a yard and change. Katie.
Well, Tess, he also said there was no shortage of motivation for this one. He said all week we heard that we can't stop the run and that Mizzou has one of the best run offenses in the country. And then he said all we heard was people say we can't run the football, and that's one of the best run defenses in the country. They had 2 weeks to prepare for us. It's an 11 a.m. kick on the road. He said all the odds are against us, and we took that personally in our preparation for this game.
3rd down and 4. They've been perfect on 3rd down today. Now they're heading into the closed end, the non-construction end of this stadium.
Jeremy Bernard lined up out here. You got a receiver in the backfield.
Simpson steps up in the pocket, doesn't have an option right now, and is sacked. He is brought down by Khalil Jacobs.
Well, Zion Young, one of our impact players, he really ends up making this play. He didn't get the sack, but he was able to force him off his mark. Working against the right tackle, it's a true freshman in Michael Carroll trying to block him. He's just got his hands full, and you see there Young able to fight him off. He doesn't bring Simpson down, but it slowed him down for an instant to get Khalil Jacobs there.
47-yard attempt for Connor Talty. He's 2 for 5 from beyond 40. That is where he struggled this year. This from 47. And that helps the cause as Talty puts it through. 10-point lead for Alabama. Mizzou has the weaponry to answer, like Ahmad Hardy, the leading rusher in the country, back on offense when we return.
Well, during the last Missouri drive, wide receiver Kevin Coleman limped off the field and fell down to the ground in the team box holding his right ankle. He spent a lot of time in the injury tent. He came out, he's tried to run in the team box. He spent some time on the bike. But guys, he is one of the most dynamic offensive players on this Mizzou team. I'll keep you posted if he tries to run back in here for this drive.
Yeah, that's a big deal, Katie, because he is the most explosive player I think they have on offense. They use him a lot the same way they used to use Luther Burden. Jet sweeps and reverses, they'll line him up at running back, just trying to get him touches to use that speed and explosiveness in space. But if he's not able to go, it puts so much more reliance now on the running game.
He had 12 targets and 12 catches for 108 yards in their last game. Tomorrow on Sunday, NFL Countdown. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce go all access with Jason Kelce. Baker Mayfield's swagger being redefined. It all starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then Katie's got to get to work because it's a double dip of Monday Night Football. 7 Eastern, it's Bills and Falcons. 8 p.m. on ABC, it's Bears and Commanders. Katie, you all set for the Falcons?
As long as I can make my 5:25 p.m. flight out of St. Louis.
Well, somebody's looking at the clock. Ahmad Hardy goes ahead for 2 yards.
Well, they're trying that right side, and this year, that's where Ahmad Hardy has had the most success running the football. He's averaging 9.4 yards per carry when they go outside the tackles. We talked about the outside zone being the bread and butter, and right now, that's where Missouri, they're trying to get it going. They're trying to reestablish a rhythm. On that first drive, looked so good. They just haven't looked the same since.
Second and 8. Prabula throws it to the outside of Manning, who had cut to the inside.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. And this is an area where you miss a guy like Kevin Coleman, because you can line him up in the slot, you can stack release him, put him in motion, give him access if you're Eli Drinkwitz and offensive coordinator Kirby Moore, but you've lost that piece. And in these critical down and distances, you just don't have your most dangerous weapon.
See, Hardy's off the field. Jamal Roberts, the backup running back, who's had a good season himself, is in on 3rd and 8. As they run Prabula, and they run him to the boundary, and ball's out. It looks like Northfleet was quick to jump on it, but the ball came out as Prabula was tackled.
Yeah, turnovers have been a problem for Prabula. It was LT Overton who had a sack on the last drive. He forces the fumble that time there. Great job rallying the ball and knocking it free. Prabula's got to be careful because he's had 3 picks. He's put it on the ground twice against Kansas. One of those fumbles got returned for a score. But LT Overton right now is dominating up front, never quit on the play. Missouri very lucky they jumped on that. Bama has that. All of a sudden you're damn close to the red zone again. You score a touchdown. This thing's 24-7.
Second 3 and out for Mizzou. Let's show you how things got started earlier today as Mizzou came out, and it was a well-managed 6-play drive that was all runs until Northfleet, and then Bama responded beautifully.
Yeah, they really did. A little touchdown pass here to Kevin Riley, and then Prabula working the boundary. We saw this touchdown pass. That was on the opening drive against Northfleet at tight end, and then Ty Simpson came back down and then threw a touchdown to Isaiah Horton on a beautiful throw on the post. So a little bit of back and forth, but you feel like the momentum here certainly on Alabama's side.
Jam Miller, as he's able to find space past midfield.
And that's what I love about having Jam Miller back. His speed and the ability to bounce it outside. At 210 pounds, 20 pounds, he can get going there. And linebackers, again, they're freezing. They're getting caught with their eyes in the backfield. And the big fella takes a big hit going out of bounds, but I just think there's more balance now in the run game. It doesn't have to always be between the tackles for Alabama. It can hit you anywhere.
Miller again is going to get to work.
As they're having success running the ball, play action is going to become more of a factor for Alabama to try and start taking some shots. And one guy whose name you haven't called a lot so far in this game, Joe, Ryan Williams. He's the most explosive receiver outside here, lined up at the bottom of the screen.
He's been targeted 1 time, doesn't have a catch. Here's 2nd and 4. Simpson. He threw it to the inside of the intended target, Lottie Brooks.
Well, I think the one position where Bama has its biggest advantage in this game is their receivers versus the secondary from Missouri. I already talked about how I think Bama has the best group in the conference. Missouri, the numbers say they're a good pass defense. They're giving up just 141 yards a game. But in games against Kansas and games against South Carolina, they had a lot of busts in the back end, and they were lucky. Jalen Daniels and Lenore Sellers missed a lot of touchdown passes. They easily could have lost those games. You got to take advantage of these guys outside if you're Simpson.
3rd down and 4. Simpson is sacked. Boy, oh boy, did Damon Wilson come up big just when they needed it most.
Well, they tried to chip him at first with Caleb Edwards, and that didn't work. And then Wilkin Formby missed. This time out here, the Georgia transfer beats 2 guys. Damon Wilson burst on the scene with 2 sacks in their opening game against Central Arkansas. He makes a huge play there on 3rd down.
Blake Dowd on to try to pin punt for Alabama. Flag is down as this punt harmlessly goes out at the 22-yard line.
Illegal shift, kicking team. Number 14 and 17 were in motion and never reset prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty will be assessed where the ball ended out of bounds. First down, Mizzou. Timeout.
Warm day here in Columbia, Missouri. Alabama's up 17-7. Oh, the famed columns on the quad. The remains of the academic hall, the first building on campus. Well, for 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. And as always, we thank All-State for that. 3.5 minutes before halftime. Bo Prabula throws it high, but somehow Johnson was able to catch it just beyond the line of scrimmage.
That was an unbelievable catch, climbing up over top of Nakai Hill Green and one-handing it with his right hand. I don't know how he did that. That was amazing. Just running the drag route, ball kind of gets away from Prabula. He's got a linebacker draped all over him and still able to make it. Now the bad news is that only gained 1 yard.
Exactly.
That was a great effort for only 1 yard, but
by the way, he did that against South Carolina as well on a shallow cross they turned upfield. The good news is Kevin Coleman is back in the game as Roberts finds a seam. Jamal Roberts with a big chunk play for Mizzou.
But Alabama just doesn't get this fit properly. And I think Justin Jefferson was out of a gap. Watch number 10 right here. This is going to stretch this way. He's got to get over the guard and get into this gap. He kind of got caught up in the middle and ended up being an explosive run. And that's been a problem for Alabama this year, Joe. They've given up 9 runs of 20 or more yards coming into this one. And oftentimes it's not the D-line. It's linebackers not fitting it right. It's DBs not taking the right angles, not leveraging and containing the football. And they were certainly worried about that against this rushing attack of the Tigers.
And we've reached the 2-minute timeout. And Mizzou's putting themselves in position to chip into this 10-point lead for Alabama. We'll take a short break and come back. Mizzou on the go. It'll be 2nd and 4 when we return.
Well, we have a real treat for you this afternoon. The State Farm halftime report will be live from the field with the incredible Laura Rutledge. Hi, it's so good to see you.
Hey, I feel like I was photobombing you. I'm sorry about that.
I was trying to hide you. It was kind of a reveal. What do you have on deck for us?
We're so excited to talk about this game, how Missouri can get back in it, and also the Red River rivalry. We're going to see if John Mateer is warming up, the Oklahoma quarterback, as well as some comments on Arch Manning.
We appreciate you. Thanks so much, Tess.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Oklahoma quarterback situation. You saw Jordan Rogers and Tim Tebow in the background last night. It was fun to sit there with you and Jordan at dinner at CC's Broiler over a lot of steak, a few adult beverages, and just breaking down everything in the SEC.
I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning with meat sweats. The steak was so good. It was worth it, though. It was worth it.
See Jordan and Tim standing by for the halftime report. All right, Laura mentioned it. Of course, all eyes will be on the Cotton Bowl. Listen, that's just one of the grand traditions in the sport. All my years of broadcasting, I've had the honor of calling that game a few times. Just the scene alone, there's nothing like it. There is great concern, of course, with Texas. Everybody points to Arch Manning, but that offensive line, you brought it up time and again.
Big time problems in pass protection right now. I was actually really impressed. I went back and watched their game losing at Florida last week, and I thought Arch Manning battled in that game. He was getting hit over and over and over again. Sacked 6 times. Florida brought the blitzes, brought the pressures. You know that Brent Venables, defensive play caller and head coach at Oklahoma, saw that. They're going to get after Arch Manning again in this one. But I thought he showed great toughness, staying in the pocket, and delivered some big-time shots. He's got to do it again today.
Here's 3rd and 3. Hardy. He bounces off and tries to cut back to the right side. Ball came out. Ball came out. Alabama player players have jumped on it, but let's see what the officials say.
Wow. That time it was Yanze Pierre chasing him down. Zabian Brown is the one that looks like he was able to knock it out.
Is he out of bounds?
And I don't know if that was recovered.
It's a forward fumble out of bounds by Rulis. Return to the spot of the fumble. Result of play leads to 4th down.
Okay, so they're saying that it was not possessed inbound.
There's a couple things you got to look at here. Number one, you got to make sure Alabama didn't possess it. I think it was Tim Keenan who jumped on it inbounds. The second thing, though, is that you're looking at the spot of where he fumbled. Did he reach the 1st down marker or not? I think there's 2 different things to look at here. That's definitely a fumble by Hardy. Here come Alabama players. There's Keenan jumping on it. Did he ever have possession?
Well, look at his left hand. You can see him sliding with the ball and sort of snow plowing it out, big Tim Keenan. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt?
Yeah, Joe, I agree with everything you just said. I do not think he possessed the ball. It did look like he was still trying to scoop it in as he was already on the white. So I think this should be, as they said, a fumble out of bounds. And Jesse, you're exactly right. Did he reach the 1st down marker before he fumbled the ball? They're going to look at that too.
Their 3rd and final time out of the half. It's 30 seconds in length.
And so now kind of a big moment too, based on what the down and distance is going to be. If this is all going to get upheld here. 4th and 1, decision time for Eli Drinkwitz. Obviously, it's early. There's a lot of football to go, but with your running attack, and with the nation's leading runner, Ahmad Hardy, who obviously just fumbled, would you stay on the field and go for it on 4th down and try and take advantage of this field position to score a touchdown, remembering Alabama's going to get the ball back first in the 2nd half? One score here is big no matter what. You make it a 1-possession game, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, but how many opportunities are you going to get down in this area of the field? And with your running back, what are you going to do?
Well, the offense is out there with Ahmad Hardy on 4th and 1. Missouri runs it more than any team in the SEC, and they have the leading rusher in the country.
And I like this decision by Eli Drinkwitz here for that exact reason. You've got the guy in Ahmad Hardy. Put this on your own line. Put this on number 29. We're trying to score a touchdown before we go in at halftime.
Fourth down and 1. They go with the up back, Roberts. It was Roberts who got the carry. And you can see the official running in. You see Alabama players pointing the other direction, claiming a turnover on downs. Remember, that yellow line is unofficial.
Well, they use Hardy as a decoy on this play. They had him back.
And it's a 1st down.
At tailback, and they had him running out wide to try and get the attention of Alabama. He's here going this way. Everybody does this. But this is the guy right here getting the football. It's another outstanding running back, by the way, in Jamal Roberts, who's been the number 2 and the 1-2 punch Missouri has. He's averaging 7.3 yards a carry. He comes up with a big one. Good gamble by Eli Drinkwitz.
And Roberts put the Kansas game away in the final minutes with a 63-yard touchdown run. Play action for Beulah. As he had to throw it away, he was being chased by Yanze Pierre.
That's such a great job by Bama's defense staying home and disciplined. You've seen outside zone over and over and over again. They go naked, quarterback keeps it, and all of a sudden you've got tight ends and receivers running across your face. Everybody in the back end for Alabama defensively did exactly what they were supposed to do in coverage, and they forced the throw away.
Buell's going to try to run it himself. And flag is down at the 25-yard line as he makes his way to the 20, tackled by Lawson.
They're going to get a hold on the left guard, Judice, that time. He just yanked the true freshman London Simmons jersey.
Holding. Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Now all of a sudden Missouri is sort of wasting this with this penalty now. It moves them even further back, and I cannot overstate this enough. Not having Kevin Coleman on the field, your most explosive playmaker offensively, really hurts Missouri in this situation because he's the kind of guy that can just catch a little hitch. Is he out there now? Oh, he finally made the field.
He went out into the field.
I was just going to say, this is where you need to have your guy. He's up here in the slot.
For Beulah. As he connects underneath with Manning, and Manning tries to weave his way close to that line to gain.
Yeah, you got to call a timeout now. You've got all three in this situation. talk this thing over if you're Eli Drinkwitz, your offensive coordinator Kirby Moore on offense. But that is huge, getting Kevin Coleman back in this area of the field, because he's a guy you can just spit the football out to quickly in space, and he can make people miss. Short area quickness is really where he excels. And down here again, the windows are really tiny to throw into. He's been their biggest weapon in the passing game without question.
He's 40 catches on the season, left the game earlier. Now back to action here in his critical final minute of this first half from Missouri.
They kind of just settled down, too, with ball security as well. We've seen a couple fumbles now in this game. Purdue almost threw a pick. It was dropped by Dijon Lee. And obviously in this area of the field, hanging on to the ball.
Third down and 3. Beulah against a 4-man rush. It gets a lot of traffic, and he can't escape it as it was brought down by London Simmons.
Yeah, he was trying to go to Norfleet at tight end. It was covered and forced him to hold on to the football. And now I think in this situation, I don't know if Eli Drinkwitz.
No, he was looking over at the true freshman place kicker.
He's going to call a timeout here. I think try to bleed the clock as much as he can to not give Ty Simpson any chances before the end of half.
You see Robert Meyer there, who's the true freshman, who's got an interesting backstory. He was a motocross kid. He was riding motocross bikes, and then at 17 years old, he realized he had an incredible talent at football. Played high school football, hit a 52-yard field goal. So Dad took him to a bunch of summer camps. The year before his senior year, Oklahoma State, Mizzou. Everybody said, hey, bring you in as a preferred walk-on. Ended up getting a couple scholarship offers to stay locally at UC Davis or Fresno, but he said, no, I want to be an SEC kicker, and here he is as a true freshman.
Well, they lost their starting kicker, Blake Craig, to a knee injury in the first game of the season against Central Arkansas, so now that gives the true freshman an opportunity. You just saw the graphic there. He's 5 for 5 from this distance on field goals, but he has missed 2 extra points, so it has been a bit of an adventure even at this yardage.
So Robert Meyer on for the field goal attempt from 35 yards out to try to make this a touchdown margin. It may not have been pretty, but it's through. And 17-10 is our halftime score.
I wonder if that was partially blocked.
Well, the rotation looked like it.
Xavier Brown's coming right here. He's going to scream down. He stretches out. It's a great effort. I mean, just from the ball rotation, Joe.
Yeah, look at the ball rotation.
It looks like someone got a tip, and even still, it's able to go through. That's incredible.
Katie?
Thanks, Des. You guys cut it to a one-possession game. How would you assess your offense's play so far?
Yeah, we're way too timid. We're second-guessing ourselves. We got to just call plays and go run them and execute them. Yeah, got to clean it up.
Your defense holds them to a field goal and then gets a stop to close out the half. What needs to continue from that group?
Well, we got to just be better on third downs. We've given up way too many easy layups on third downs, so we got to clean that up.
Thank you.
MIC.
Yep. Alabama is 4 of 6 on third down. Ty Simpson with 2 touchdown passes. 17-10 is our halftime score of this top 15 matchup. State Farm halftime report is coming up after a word from our ABC stations. Faurot Field at Memorial Stadium as you're watching the SEC on ABC. ABC College Football is presented by Starbucks. Number 8, Alabama up 17-10 on number 14, Mizzou. Ahmad Hardy's the leading rusher in the country. He's only averaging 4 yards a carry. It typically is at 7 yards a carry.
Well, they've actually got it done in other ways running the football, too. It's been Robertson for Beulah at quarterback. They're being physical, and they're going to have to keep running the ball here in the second half if they want to come back and win this one, but they got to do a better job with ball security, Joe. They've narrowly avoided 3 turnovers in that first half. 2 fumbles, a dropped interception. Got to be smart, and they got to play clean.
Here's Brooks on the return. as Alabama takes possession. Start the second half. Unstoppable performance presented by Ram Trucks.
Been impressed with Ty Simpson. He's only thrown for 89 yards, but he's making really good decisions. This year might be one of his best throws of the season already. Freezing the free safety, been finding Isaiah Horton on the post outside. He's also been really tough with three rushers bearing down on him, delivering accurate balls, and then good decision making on third down here. 3rd and 4, bad pass rush integrity and lanes. And he's just able to take off, get upfield, and move the sticks. You gotta like the mindset and just how good decisions Ty Simpson is making this one. He's definitely dialed in.
Play action to start the second half as the pocket collapses and he is taken down by Josiah Trotter.
Well, that's a missed block by Jan Miller.
Well, pulls up, it's a turnover.
Trotter, and they were able to get the turnover. We talked about how they avoided them in the first half.
Wilson comes up with it.
That is fantastic. Trotter getting in on the pressure. He beats Jan Miller to get to Ty Simpson, force him up. Ty Simpson just ran into Caden Proctor. The ball comes out, and Missouri's there to jump on. This is a play they needed. Watch here as Simpson's going down. The ball gets punched out. That's Zion Young punching it out before his knee hits, and that is a massive momentum-shifting play for Missouri's defense right out of the gate.
Zion Young forces it. Wilson recovers it. And on the first play of the second half, Mizzou is in business to potentially tie this game. And now the tough running of Ahmad Hardy.
I'm telling you, Joe, his running style reminds me so much of Cam Scadaboo. Just his contact balance and how he seeks out the contact, always keeps his legs moving, stays in bounds. And again, running to the outside, to the right, that's where he's been making most of his hay the first half of this season. It's an attitude play right after getting the turnover.
You need a hard hat and multiple tacklers to have a shot at Hardy as he steps out, and Jamal Roberts steps in as the featured back. 1st and goal, Mizzou. Prabula's going to try to run it off right tackle as he's taken down by Pierre.
You just can't start a half any better than they did. Take away on the first play. You get a nice run by Hardy. You've got your best receiver, Kevin Coleman, now back on the field. Looks like he's actually subbing off. Hardy takes the field again, and no question, right? The identity. You mentioned it earlier, Joe. They run it 55% of the time. That's more than any other offense in the SEC, and this is where those attitude runs have got to show up for you.
Second and goal. Prabula's going to try to do it himself. He made a man miss and went right on in.
They go with the zone read, Joe, and Bray Hubbard at safety for Alabama played it absolutely perfectly. He was in position, but Bo Prabula with the moves. They're going to fake this run here. He's running outside. Here's Hubbard. He's going to meet him, and he's right there to make the tackle. Hubbard has been the most valuable player on defense for Alabama in the first half of the season. Man, he gets shook right out of his cleats.
Bo Prabula, after that big turnover, Robert Meyer adds the extra point, but the defense came up huge. The strip sack, the fumble recovery, and then Bo on the go. Tie game, top 15 matchup. Is there one Bama fan in the middle there? The Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más student section of the year. Who's going to take home the trophy this year? Look at that guy, Jess.
He's a spot in there. Yeah, big hat guy. I like it.
17-7. They like that score. And if somehow they're able to win this game, you know Willie's and Harpo's and all the spots here in Como are going to be rocking tonight. Katie.
Well, Ty Simpson was slow to get up after the sack he took. He was holding his midsection when he ran off the field. He waved off the injury to him. When he got to the bench, Caden Proctor, who he ran into, came over to check on him. Simpson told Proctor, "That one was on me." Proctor said, "No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's get ready and let's go again."
That is the turning point right now. The fumble, the recovery, and then Brabula able to guide the offense with a 5-yard touchdown run. It is 17-17 here. Simpson to pass. Quickly to the outside, and Bernard with so much space to do whatever he wanted to.
Well, they need that. They need their star wide receivers to make plays in their second half. Before that play, Joe, Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard, their two top receivers combined, had just 2 catches for 5 yards in this game. I talked about this earlier. I think the biggest positional advantage Bama has is their receivers versus Missouri's secondary. So these guys now, you got to take advantage of them and give them the ball.
Williams has not played a factor today. So after the 15-yard reception, we'll keep it on the ground here. And met at the line of scrimmage, Kevin Riley was taken back.
Well, Zion Young's been all over the place for Missouri, and he doesn't make the tackle, but he makes the play. Watch, he's going to be over here. He's going to completely blow this play up and force Riley to bounce this thing upfield. He takes on the pulling guard. The violence that Missouri's front plays with. They rotate 10 different guys in. They average 6'4", 290 pounds across the board. They want you to play them in a phone booth because they just beat you up.
And it is getting loud here in Columbia. 2nd and 9. Simpson against a 4-man rush as he has to step up and now looks to tuck and get to the edge as he was run out by Jacobs.
All right, so now 3rd downs have been an issue in pass pro. Bama's already given up 3 sacks, and the running backs, Joe, I think have to do a better job with blitz pickup. We've seen a couple times Kevin Riley missing a guy. On the last turnover, Jam Miller wasn't able to get a block on Josiah Trotter. They've got Riley in the game now, the redshirt freshman. If he's back there and he's scanning, he's got to find the guy quickly, and he's got to help out to give Ty Simpson time. He's lining up at receiver, but they can bring him in with motion.
3rd and 6. Sticks are at midfield. Play clock counting down, and with that, Ty Simpson is going to turn and call a timeout. Their first used of this second half.
Well, you can just sort of feel the momentum shift here in the second half. It was so big for Missouri to get those points at the end of the first half. Keep this thing a 1-possession game, and really they looked so good on that first drive, and then offensively kind of started sputtering a little bit, but they were able to keep it close enough. And with all these big plays on defense, getting the turnover, and then capitalizing with a touchdown on Brabula's run. Look at this place now here.
Listen to this. It is rocking. Truman the Tiger has it roaring at Faurot Field at Memorial Stadium. Last time Mizzou had a win against Alabama was 1975. You mentioned Williams and Bernard, the great receivers. In spots like this, they need them, but it has been a struggle today. 3rd down and 6. Off the timeout, and Simpson still checking at the line. They bring a bit of pressure against Simpson. He escapes it for the moment. Can he run to the sticks? No. He is met and forced out by Jalen Catalon.
Jalen Catalon is just a human missile. The transfer from UNLV has brought a physicality to this defense. When Simpson goes that way, he's just going to mirror him and get there. They brought the blitz and pressure. Kevin Riley got a piece of it. Flush Simpson to the outside, and then Catalon able to clean that up, force him out of bounds.
It's his 4th stop in college football. He was a huge part of the Arkansas defense early in his career. Transferred to Texas, then out to UNLV to play for Barry Odom, who was his DC at the time at Arkansas. And now here starring for Mizzou as Coleman makes the fair catch near the 10-yard line. It is 17-17 in such a critical matchup of SEC contenders.
ABC College Football, presented by Starbucks, is brought to you by Ram Trucks, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Nothing stops Ram.
We often talk about teams finishing up the half, and if they get the ball to start the second half, how they can have those swing momentum moments. Well, Missouri created one, right? They had the field goal before halftime to cut it to 7. Then the sack, the fumble for Beulah's touchdown run. And in a span of game time, Jesse, of 1:43, Mizzou scored 10 points to tie the game.
Yeah, Joe, coaches oftentimes talk about last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half being a big determining factor in games. And Missouri right now, putting that to the test. They've looked outstanding in that period.
Now Mizzou takes over with the ball cresting near the 10-yard line. Hardy trying to get some solid work here as he is taken down after gaining just 1.5 yards by LT Overton.
You know, it's an offense that has, I think, probably one of the better running back duos in the nation. It's not only Ahmad Hardy you got to deal with, but we've seen Jamal Roberts come in this game as well and get it done. And both guys are kind of similar. Oftentimes when you have committees, one guy's the speed guy, one guy's the power guy. Both Roberts and Hardy are kind of the same thing. Both very good in the zone scheme, the zone stretch, and both guys have been making plays today.
Here's the quick game to Johnson, as Johnson will get upfield towards the 18-yard line. Will be 3rd and short.
And I like the play call because it's essentially an extension of a run play. You just spit it out to Johnson, quickly get positive yards, now setting up 3rd and short.
Quick to the line, empty set here on 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Incomplete. He could not connect with Norfleet.
That was Bray Hubbard at safety. He was the guy that Bo Beulah made miss for the touchdown run, getting in and breaking up that play on the tight end. That's a stop this defense, I think, needed badly here after the punt, forcing that 3 and out, now giving an opportunity to Ty Simpson potentially to get this thing back close to midfield.
Wesselman, as his punt is fielded near the 40 by Cole Adams, and Cole Adams already past midfield, so great field position for Alabama. Flag is down back at the 31.
During the kick, holding 13 of the receiving team. The 10-yard penalty is enforced from the spot at the end of the kick. It'll be 1st down Alabama after enforcement.
Well, this is a video here. That's Jamarcus Shepard. That's the wide receiver coach, and he is going off on his group of wide receivers, specifically the Miami transfer Isaiah Horton, not happy with his group during the break.
Horton had the one big moment in the first half, the touchdown reception. But overall, if you're sizing up personnel and talent advantages coming into this game, you would point to the wide receiver room of Alabama against the DBs of Mizzou. And keep in mind, Marvin Burks, a defensive back, was ejected for targeting earlier in this game.
And you know it's going to be tough sledding running the ball against this front seven. They've actually done a pretty good job of that, but what makes this offense so explosive, Joe, it's the speed and the guys outside.
Cam Miller on 1st down as he bounces it and gains extra yardage. So the first 3 drives, Jesse, for Bama, 185 yards and 17 points. And then the next 3 drives, 26 yards, a turnover, no points.
Well, they found themselves in 3rd and long situations. And Missouri, you got to give them credit because they found the pass rush and they've been able to affect Ty Simpson in those situations. So this is a big down here on 2nd, Joe. Even if you don't get the first, you've got to get 3, 4, 5 yards to make this 3rd down more manageable.
Simpson, as he goes underneath to Miller, and Miller lowers his shoulder out to the 44-yard line, first down.
And I love that quick decision that time by Simpson, because he's trying to hit Ryan Williams over here on the stick route. It's not going to be open. He knows he has this right here. And just watch, it goes so quick. Not open, fine, reset my feet. There's my running back, get north, move the sticks.
And no reception by Miller. Veteran presence and productivity in the run game and catching it out of the backfield. Play action. Simpson gets it to Brooks, and Brooks, who's going to be a really good one, already producing as a true freshman.
Well, the fake that time to Jam Miller, it just froze a bunch of defenders for Missouri, and that allowed Lottie Brooks to get underneath. The fake this way gets all these guys going that way, and he's coming back underneath. The fake is just trying to freeze people so that Lottie Brooks can then get everyone outflanked, and that's just easy pitch and catch.
And we showed you Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard, but guys like Lottie Brooks looking to step up here. First down, Simpson, a little bit of pressure, ball's in the air, and it's caught by his center, Brailsford. So Parker Brailsford is able to secure that ball off the deflection.
And Joe, it's bad pass pro by the running back again. Jam Miller is late getting out here to block Catalan on the safety blitz. He just loses his feet. He doesn't get enough on him, and there's just way too much pressure. They're not doing a good enough job in pass pro solidifying the edges, and it's oftentimes the running backs.
Miller straight ahead. That's a really good run to make up for it, as it's a first down for Alabama.
Yeah, I think you got to start leaning on this O-line, and guys like Caden Proctor, they're 6'7", 366-pound left tackle right there. This guy's going to be a top 10 pick. He had some struggles in the Florida State game early, gave up 7 pressures. Joe, he's been so dominant, though, in the last 4 games, and they put his athleticism on display here recently. Caught a screen for 11 yards against Georgia, had a fullback dive last week against Vanderbilt to pick up a first down. They've been creative with big number 74, but I think now you just let him get out of his three-point stance and push people.
By the way, he can throw a football downfield, spiral it over 50 yards as well. Daniel Hill, a big 244-pounder.
Okay, so this is the physicality, right? Now we're just going to run zone ourselves, and we're going to get in there, and we're going to push, and we're going to bring a 240-pound running back, 244-pound back in Daniel Hill, and then try to get you worn down too. Missouri, statistically, the best run defense in the country, but Bama, I think, has done a very good job when they've picked their spots, running the football efficiently in this game.
Big body Daniel Hill again. And you can see him able to move the pile for what will be a third and very short. Quick to the line is Alabama. They started the game 4 for 4 on third down. Since they are 0 for 3. Quick to the line on 3rd and 1. Quarterback sneak as Simpson's trying to still wiggle his way ahead. And that is a first down for Alabama. Eli Drinkwitz so confident coming into the week, saying it's an advantage us mindset. All we have to do is bring our elite edge for 4 quarters.
Well, and you're seeing a bit of a physical edge on this drive by Alabama. A few nice decisions in the passing game by Ty Simpson early on short ones, but it's been the running game here these last couple of plays, leaning on this big offensive line that's got it done.
9th play of the drive.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, Kalen DeBoer upset with that, and this is an offense that they call plays in, and they give Ty Simpson the ability to change things at the line of scrimmage as well, and so you kind of have to live with that sometimes. Ty Simpson, more often than not, has gotten them into the right play. We've talked about how poised he's been this year on the road. We saw that against Georgia. He's having to do that here with a very loud crowd at Memorial Stadium, where, Joe, they've now had 18 straight sellouts here.
They have a 15-game home win streak. Undefeated for now. Tie game against number 8 Alabama. Jam Miller on 1st and 15 after the penalty. Of course, you know what is coming your way. It is Red River. It is one of the great days in the sport. Oklahoma and Texas. John Mateer, of course, has been out with the injury. And Jesse, he's out there warming up.
Well, that's big news for Oklahoma. When he's healthy and he's playing, he's a difference maker. Has such a good feel for Arbuckle's offense.
Ty Simpson on 2nd and 11 drives it to his tight end as he's able to get it to Danny Lewis.
Well, they're happy to get him back. He missed the first 3 games of the year, returned against Georgia. Big tight end at 6'5", 255, and he's out there playing receiver, kind of running a curl route. There was no hesitation from Simpson getting big number 87 the ball.
Miller to the outside. Jam Miller, as he is run out near the 5-yard line by Hall.
Really good vision. Jeremy Bernard that time got a big block down, but he actually tackled a defender in the back end, which I think probably should have been called for holding, and that's what really gave the space to Jam Miller to get back to the right side. He literally leaped and put a defender in a headlock, and it didn't get called.
By the way, Santana Banner is slow to get up at the end of the play as they are reaching for his lower leg. He was acting as if it was cramping up there. Remember, they are already down 1 defensive back in Marvin Burks, who was ejected for targeting.
Banner was the guy that came in to play for Burks, so they may be down there their 3rd safety. And then watch Jeremy Bernard right here. He's going to try and block Rodriguez at linebacker. Tell me if this is legal. He just jumps, puts his arm around his neck.
When I'm broadcasting Monday Night Raw, it's legal, but you're on an SEC game.
You see a lot of that, I know, in your other job. But who knows? You know, maybe the receiver coach lightened him up on the sideline. Maybe that kind of lit a fire under these receivers too, to get downfield and start getting more physical.
Want to remind you, this is SEC All Day on ABC, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. And the Red River rivalry is coming up at the Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma and Texas. Then Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One, Georgia Auburn, comes your way tonight. 2nd and 3 for Bama. Miller, as it's going to be 3rd and 1, tackled by Darius Smith.
I think Ty Simpson's legs have to be big in this situation, whether it's a zone read or it's an empty set and you're giving him an opportunity against the soft box to run into. His mobility and athleticism has been big for them in this situation. Substitution coming on, Olaus Alinen, extra offensive lineman now as they get ready to go big. And they got Proctor in the backfield, Joe.
Oh my. 366-pound Caden Proctor, wildcat on his own. Oh, you do it, big man. How about that?
When you
Wildcat Proctor.
When you saw the extra O-lineman running on the field, you knew something was up, and that's just 366. He tries to get a little vertical. And give credit to Jalen Marshall. He's 335 pounds himself. He's the guy that has to tackle him. He was able to do it. The safety for Georgia that had that job a few weeks ago, not so much. But man, big guys are just not supposed to move like that.
And he went a little airborne. Whoa, oh, a stumble, but Jam Miller takes it in. Ty Simpson stumbled, but somehow got it to Jam Miller, and it's a touchdown, Alabama.
Yeah.
It was set up by the left tackle, and then Miller brings it in.
I think Simpson got his foot stepped on that time by his own left guard, Cam Dewberry. And as a coach, you always, the penetration's going to come right here. You always hold your breath. Because is he going to let go of the ball? Is he going to flip it to him?
Under video review from the previous play.
Here's what they're going to look at.
Yeah, and see.
Watch the knee of Simpson.
He was actually down before. I think it was. I think his right knee actually hit the turf before he hands this off. Watch there.
Oh, this could be a loss of yardage and wipe out a touchdown run by Jam Miller.
Because he actually didn't flip the ball to Miller. He actually handed it to him. He still has it in his hands right there. Yeah. That's going to be a loss. Great job of penetrating up front by Missouri and their physicality here with their backs against the wall.
Take a look at the knee. You be the judge. Does it hit the turf or is there space?
I think it's down.
Let's see. Right there, it's down. And the ball is still in his hand as he was tripped up.
After review, the runner's knee was down prior to giving up possession. The ball will be placed just inside the 5-yard line, second down.
So can you just go Caden Proctor Wildcat?
Yes.
Caden Proctor Wildcat here inside the 5-yard line.
Can we go Caden Proctor speed option?
Yeah, we were just waiting to see what they were going to use him next for. And
how about the fact he left his feet?
Yeah, I know.
On the third one.
The triangle button.
366-pounder who now has been a weapon catching a screen pass, having a fullback dive, and on 3rd and 1 moments ago ran a Wildcat for a first down.
More offensive touches than pressures allowed in these last couple of games.
More offensive touches than Ryan Williams in this game. 2nd and goal. Here's Miller, and he is met.
All right, so who can win if you're Alabama? It looks like you're going to have to throw to get this thing in, and their biggest, most physical target is Isaiah Horton. Down in areas like this, in breaking routes and putting his body in between the defender and the football. He's done that throughout his career. Did it for Cam Ward at Miami last year. He's done a great job of it this year too. But at 6'4" with his frame, that's a big target and a big weapon in this area of the field.
Zion Young, Damon Wilson just came up big. Now a 3rd and goal. Touchdown was wiped off the board when they saw Simpson's knee down. 3rd and goal, Alabama. Play clock counting down. Simpson back to pass to the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for Cuevas.
Well, he had to get through that progression quickly. Damon Wilson was bearing down on him, running a stunt. Working against Caden Proctor, he looped inside, and Ty Simpson felt that and just knew he had to get rid of it. It was a safe throwaway, high out of bounds. Not turning it over, now giving an opportunity to Connor Talty to take the lead.
So Connor Talty comes out to try to give Alabama the lead here in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Just an angled short 22-yard attempt.
The kick is good.
And number 8, Alabama's back on top. The drama down inside the 10-yard line. The left tackle at 366 pounds was able to convert on a 3rd and 1. But the key moment came when Ty Simpson was tripped up. His knee was down, wiped out the touchdown, settled for 3. Glad you're with us here from Como, watching the SEC on ABC. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George with you here as Bama just had a 17-play drive, and they had to settle for a field goal. Bringing the heat is brought to you by Sonic.
We talked about Caden Proctor and his ability, and we saw this last week against Vanderbilt in a short yardage situation. 366-pound tackle, getting a fullback dive. Joe, you and I weren't sure he actually had to do that. They're lucky there wasn't a face mask called on that play, by the way. But, you know, it's a lot of pressure, right? If you're Ryan Grubb on offense now, because every week you're having to come up with something new, cool for him to do. It was a screen against Georgia, a fullback dive last week, Wildcat this week. I mean, what's next for Tennessee?
It's so much fun. Prabula, play action as he goes underneath to Norfleet, his tight end, who had the 26-yard touchdown on the opening drive. And we've got a really good one here in the SEC to start an excellent Saturday of college football. Number 8 on top by 3. The SEC on ABC, presented by Starbucks, returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Coach Drinkwitz, your defense comes up huge at the goal line. What's going to be the difference here in the 4th quarter?
Yeah, if our offense can sustain a drive right here, you know, you got everything you want. You're in a 1-score game in the 4th quarter. Let's go finish the game.
Thanks for the time.
MIZ.
And we have everything we want. A compelling setting. It's loud here in Como. And a great game between top 15 teams as Prabula goes underneath the Northfleet, who settles in after gaining the yardage for a first down.
Really nice job that time, and that play design by offensive coordinator Kirby Moore. Northfleet's just going to kind of get lost. He's just going to act like he's blocking. He's trying to mix in with the offense of line up front, and he really does a good job of being patient up here. He's blocking, he's blocking, he's blocking, and then he's going to release, and that's the check down throw for Prabula.
Hardy, as he is met, but that is exactly what he can do. The contact balance, the ability to still go forward. That missed tackle was Bray Hubbard.
Well, it feels like it's Hardy time right now, right? If you're Missouri, the nation's leading rusher, and he's fresh, by the way. That was only his 11th carry in this game, so a guy that breaks tons of tackles, let him work.
2nd and 5, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try to feed him, but he is dragged down from behind. Just a gain of 1 yard that time as he's tackled by Simmons, the true freshman.
If you had come into this game and you had said to me, Jess, Kevin Coleman is going to have 1 catch for 2 yards for Missouri, I would have told you you'd be crazy.
Guy's got 40 catches on the year.
I know. The transfer from Mississippi State has been outstanding, and he's really been the guy more often than not that Bo Prabula has looked for in these 3rd down situations. He's lined up tight in the split end. This is screaming drag route or something shallow.
Let's see if that's the case on 3rd and 4, Jesse. Can Mizzou keep this drive going? Prabula downfield. Oh, and right into the hands of Hubbard.
Well, he was looking for Kevin Coleman. Coleman never turned around to look for the football. And Bray Hubbard, who has been an absolute turnover machine for Alabama, comes up with a big catch.
An interception for Alabama.
Coleman's here. He's just running a seam route right down the field. But watch, he never turns around to look for this. Prabula's expecting him to just sit in that soft spot of the zone. And how about Bray Hubbard, Joe? His last 11 starts, 12 starts now, he's got 6 picks, and he's forced 2 fumbles. He's been a complete difference maker for the Tide defensively, and that's why I think he's been their MVP the first half of this season. He just keeps coming up with massive plays.
Kane Womack turned to us the other day, said his ability to analyze plays and then make the play. You could make an argument he's Bama's best overall player. 4th straight game with an interception thrown for Prabula as Alabama takes over here in the 4th quarter with a 3-point lead. Trying to hand Mizzou their first loss of the season. Jam Miller straight ahead.
Yeah, if you're Alabama now, you got to make Missouri pay for that turnover. Remember, Missouri was lucky. They didn't have 3 giveaways in the first half. They give 1 away there. If you're going to beat a team like Bama, as hot as they are, you have got to play clean. The margin for error is so small, and Ty Simpson's been excellent this year in sudden change situations, getting the offense going.
A lot of attaboys for Hubbard on the sideline, while Jam Miller takes it ahead to midfield. That's close to the line of the game.
And they're running behind Caden Proctor that time, getting really good push. He completely moved Sterling Webb, number 10, cleared him out of the way for Jam Miller to run. And I think in games like this, your best players got to play big. Run behind your best players. Number 74, lean on him. Whether it's Zion Young, whoever he's going up against, trust this guy. He's going to be a top 10 pick.
Simpson on 1st down against a 4-man rush. He's going to try to connect with Cuevas, his tight end, and he does so.
Wow, that was a great catch, stretching out by Cuevas there. He's trying to keep his toes in bounds. He's trying to drag them, and this is about as tough as it gets. That was a bullet from Simpson. You got to maintain complete and continuous control, and it looked like he did. But they may take a look.
And take a look at what was a 7-yard reception.
On the previous play is under video review.
By Josh Cuevas, very athletic tight ends. We'll take a break while they take a look. Under 12 minutes to play. Which way will it go here in Columbia, Missouri?
After After video review, the ruling of the catch is upheld. Second down.
Well, Joe, the ball's allowed to hit the ground as long as you have control of it at the time. It can't help you secure it. And you'll see the ball does hit the ground right here. You see any bobble or wiggle in the football? I didn't see any. I thought that should have been a catch. I think that's the right call.
So Cuevas records the 7-yard reception. And it's Alabama at the Missouri 43, 2nd and 3. A field goal lead. Mizzou undefeated here at home with a top 15 matchup for the first time since 1979. Jan Miller as he falls ahead for 1.5 yards. Time of possession was a big note on Missouri coming into the game. They led the country in terms of owning the ball, but look at what Alabama has done today, Jesse.
Alabama pretty good too, though, and they came into the game 2nd in the SEC in time of possession behind Missouri, obviously, and I think their success running the ball really has been the key in this one, staying on the field. You see Sterling Webb for Missouri now down on the field. He's a big-time player in the interior of this D-line, and it's, I think, a reason why Eli Drinkwitz is going for a little walk to check on one of the star defensive players.
Sterling Webb was very disruptive on the inside. He's a St. Louis native who went and played at New Mexico State and came back home. He's been strong against the run, a big part of what they like to do defensively.
Well, they need him now, and they need all hands on deck, because you know Alabama is going to try and run the football. In the second half, they've made that a priority, and they're doing it successfully. They're starting to push Missouri around a little bit up front.
There's Jan Miller and big Caden Proctor to the left. Can they ride their running back and their future top 10 pick left tackle on 3rd and 1? Miller, he's going to be marked short. It's going to be 4th down.
It was Jalen Cattle on that time at safety that came screaming in. He didn't make the tackle, but he slowed all the momentum of Jan Miller. And then they were able to clean it up. 4th down. I like this call by Kalen DeBoer. And to me, there's one direction you're running this thing. It's to the left.
4th down and 1. As loud as could be here at Memorial Stadium. 4th and 1. Simpson shuffles it ahead to Miller for a 1st down.
Man, that's the 2nd time in a couple games you've seen a very creative play call by Ryan Grubb, getting Simpson and Jan Miller out to the perimeter on the right-hand side. You saw it at the end of the Georgia game on 3rd down to
That's
seal
not a good
that
scene.
thing. This is a big one here. He's running outside. He almost gets hit by Toriano Prat. He's able to just flip it to Jan Miller to pick up that 1st.
Jan Miller's writhing in pain at the end of that play. On that critical 4th down conversion, let's show you the end of this play. This is how they converted to move the sticks, and then Miller injured at the end of the play.
Takes a big hit that time by Everett. Oof. And I guess the question is that targeting? He's not a defenseless player, but you're not allowed to make forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. I think that's one thing they may take a look at.
We're going to take a break, and we'll discuss it in just a little bit. But it is a 1st down. Alabama with just over 10 minutes to play and a 3-point lead. They helped Jan Miller off the field just moments ago. Alabama's starting running back. And Jesse, let's show everybody why.
Yeah, well, when I was watching this live, I wondered maybe this was targeting if he was hit with the crown of the helmet. I don't think he was, though. Watching this back a couple times, I think it's the shoulder of Catalon that gets him. That was a big collision. Both of those guys slow to get up, and Catalon's not in the game right now. It's good to see Jan Miller, though, getting some help and walking into the locker room.
Remember, it was a 10-yard reception on a 4th and 1 as Simpson and Miller were able to get it accomplished. So now a fresh set of downs for Alabama. 3-point lead. Big SEC matchup. Play action. Simpson as he overthrows Cuevas, since there was a lot of pursuit on Simpson.
Well, you got a 3-point lead here in the fourth quarter if you're Bama, and obviously you want to be able to run the ball, but now that Jan Miller's not out there, he was your biggest, most physical guy, and now you're asking a lot of Kevin Riley. The redshirt freshman at only 190 pounds is a different style runner. Can he be physical enough in this situation?
We're going to pass on 2nd and 10. And quick to the outside to Brooks. And he barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage, the true freshman receiver, Lottie Brooks.
All right, well, you can't take a negative play here if you're Ty Simpson with a 3-point lead. You need to at least get 3 out of this drive. And so pass protection is really big, and Bama's got to find a way to help out the right tackle, William Formby. That's been a weak link spot. Right now, they've got the tight end on that side, I think, there to give some chip help.
Also have 244-pound running back Daniel Hill there as well. Can they protect on 3rd and 10? Simpson downfield. It's well beyond Bernard.
And that's just a miss by Ty Simpson. That's 2 misses in a row with guys open enough to be able to make a catch. So a nice stop there by Missouri's defense. This is going to be setting up, what, a 47-yarder? Close to 48?
Maybe even officially 49 based on where Blake Dowd is going to be holding that ball. So a 49-yard attempt for Connor Talty to try to give Alabama a 6-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Talty. No good. So Connor Talty last week was 3 for 4. This from 49 yards. And it just stayed out to the left. And Eli Drinkwitz, who's had so much confidence all week long. His team's going to have the ball only trailing by 3 here in the fourth quarter. Undefeated Mizzou. As Bo Probula and the star running back Ahmad Hardy take over with just over 9 minutes to play in regulation. Probula able to escape and then tries to spin past LT Overton.
Man, how big of a game has LT Overton had in this one? That now his 2nd sack. He also forced a fumble, and guess what, Joe? It's his birthday today. LT Overton probably having the best game of this season, and he has just been living in this backfield, playing with great effort here. Great job first off by Yanze Pierre, forcing Probula outside, and there's Overton to clean everything up.
Probula against a 4-man rush on 2nd and 12. A lot of traffic again as he tries to check down to Hardy, and not much there because Deontay Lawson was waiting on him.
They just don't have it in the vertical passing game, Joe. And we've kind of seen that throughout the course of the year. They actually came into this one with only 9 attempts where the ball travels more than 20 yards downfield. That's the fewest in the SEC. They don't have the dudes outside that can stretch the field, get behind the defense. Everything is sort of shallow and underneath, and there's just been no threat of the vertical passing game. They've been very one-dimensional in this game outside of the early touchdown pass to Norfolk.
Today, just 1 for 7 on 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 11. Probula, he is chased back by Overton again and then slings it across. But a good tackle that time on Jamal Roberts by Justin Jefferson.
That was a fantastic tackle that time by Jefferson in the open field. If he misses this, Roberts is going to be able to break this and go get a 1st down. Jefferson was so good in their last game against Vanderbilt with 14 tackles. He had a sack. He forced a fumble in the red zone on Diego Pavia, and the speed able to get to Roberts and bring him down. He's their leading tackler for a reason. He's got big shoes to fill. Remember Jahad Campbell last year, 1st-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Justin Jefferson, he has really stepped up early this season.
4th and 4, it's a fake. It is a fake as they give it to the up back who's trying to reach out for it. It's Jamal Roberts, the backup running back. It'll depend on the spot.
I don't know if he got it. This is going to be so close.
They fake the punt from their own 37-yard line to the up back, Jamal Roberts. And Bama's walking off the field celebrating a turnover on downs.
Wow, you got to give Dre Washington, a running back for Alabama, credit there on punt return because he was staying aware, wasn't fully fooled. And he was able to run over to the sideline quickly to get to Roberts.
Excellent heads-up play.
Roberts was trying to move the football into his right hand before going out of bounds, and did it cross that first down marker?
Dre Washington, the backup running back who plays special teams with the tackle for Alabama. And they are ruling on the field that Jamal Roberts is short of that line to gain on the fake punt.
Well, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn this, and I don't know in any of these pictures we're seeing, Joe, if you get that. Really heads-up play by Dre Washington being there.
Our rules expert, Matt Austin, can be brought into the conversation here. Matt, what would you be looking for?
Well, I agree with Jesse. You just need to have clear and obvious evidence that the ball did cross the sideline beyond the line to gain mark. And I agree with Jesse. I just don't see any evidence of that. It looks like he did everything he could to keep it in bounds as long as he could before it crossed. But you just don't have a good reference point because you're looking behind the runner.
And again, to give credit to Dre Washington, just a heads-up play in that situation. When you think, okay, it's fourth quarter, they're in their own end of the field. Obviously, they're punting this back to us. No one's going to take a gamble in this kind of situation. That was really a heads-up football IQ play by him.
Do you like the call, the fake punt in that spot from your own 37?
You know, he talks about the Mizzou factor for Eli Drinkwitz, and you got to take chances. And, you know, he's shown a little bit of that throughout this game. Both of these teams have been trying to stay aggressive, and you know, when you make that play call, you're sending a clear message, I think, to your team. Hey, I trust in you and I believe in you. We practice this to go get this thing executed. I think on that particular play, there was maybe a better individual effort by the opponent.
We're going to sync up the angles for you. Remember, the ruling on the field is that he did not make the line to gain on this fake punt run by Jamal Roberts.
Just don't know in either of those pictures if with absolute certainty you can say, yeah, he did, he crossed it.
After video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The runner is short of the line to gain. First down, Alabama.
So it is a turnover on downs, and Alabama takes over with just over 7 minutes to play on the Missouri 40-yard line.
Well, this is a wild series here in sequence of events the last couple drives, right? Because Prbula throws the pick, Bama marches down, they miss the field goal, and now Missouri gives it right back to them in their own end. You know, if you're Alabama, you've got a chance to start taking some knockout swings here, but you got to connect. This field position is too good to waste.
Remember, their best running back is out of the game. Daniel Hill's in at running back now for Jam Miller. Simpson to pass with a man coming at him, and he is torn down by Damon Wilson.
And Wilcom Formby at right tackle just completely whiffed on the right side. And normally they give their right tackle a lot of help in pass pro with chips by running backs or tight ends. This was just one-on-one in a Georgia transfer. I mean, he barely was even touched.
Jesse, that's 4 sacks today now.
That's Wilson's second sack. I mean, none are going to come easier than that.
4 sacks for Missouri. And all of a sudden, it's 2nd and 17 with under 6.5 minutes to play. Simpson, as he goes underneath to Riley, and Riley is going to lose yardage. So all of a sudden, after the turnover on downs, the Mizzou defense is answering. Sterling Webb and Chris McClellan combining there.
And they're dominating up front. They're getting pressure. Coming into this game, 50% pressure on QB dropbacks. They have taken this thing over here on this drive.
Bama's going in the wrong direction. Simpson on 3rd and 24. As he goes underneath to Riley, And Riley gets back some yardage to the 37.
And now decision time if you're Kalen DeBoer, because you're kind of in that no man's land just inside the 40-yard line. You don't really want to punt it here. You still got a long ways to go. You got to get to the 30-yard line to convert this thing. They are going to stay on the field. They've got Daniel Hill at running back. Number one, though, Joe, first and foremost, they got to protect Ty Simpson.
So a 4th down and 8 for Alabama now. Simpson checking at the line. Play clock counting down. 4th down and 8. Can Bama convert? Simpson going deep. Lottie Brooks against Toriano Pride.
What a throw by Ty
Lottie
Simpson.
Brooks, the true freshman, coming up on 4th down.
You could not walk this ball to Lottie Brooks and put it in a better spot.
Wow.
Really good coverage that time by the Clemson transfer, Toriano Pride. But the accuracy by Ty Simpson on 4th down when they need it the most, that was impressive.
A 29-yard reception by Lottie Brooks. The longest play of the day for Alabama.
Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes 53 seconds and a 25-second play clock. Both will start on the ready for play signal.
Well, I know I said earlier that the post throw to Horton might have been one of his best throws of the year. This one might be better. He's got it just kind of floating to his left. He's got such a small window to place this ball into. That is just perfect.
That after a sack and a tackle for loss. It was 4th and 8. And now Daniel Hill, as they stack him up after a gain of 2 yards. Trotter on the tackle.
And Joe, we were talking about that earlier with Ty Simpson, right? The resiliency and how he throws the pick early against Vanderbilt last week and then bounces back and makes a bunch of plays. That's a perfect example after getting sacked and being pressured to stick in there on 4th down and deliver an absolute dart like that. His confidence right now is just sky high, and they need that now. Without Jam Miller in this situation, this area of the field, they need number 15.
By the way, Lottie Brooks, give him credit. The true freshman's the leading receiver today. 4 catches for 58 yards. That 29-yarder on 4th down was sensational. 2nd and goal. Simpson. To the end zone he goes, and it's overthrown. Incomplete. 3rd and goal.
Really good job in the back end covering that time by Santana Banner, the Northern Illinois transfer. Now we got 3rd and goal. And just think, how big would a touchdown here be for Alabama? Make it a 10-point game, a 2-possession game with under 4 minutes to go. This could be the one that seals it. But who outside can win? Ryan Williams still without a catch in this game. He's lined up at the bottom of the screen.
Third and goal for Simpson and the Tide. He goes underneath to his tight end, Lewis, and he is forced out.
And another decision for DeBoer. I think if you had Jam Miller, this might be a bit of an easier decision.
Yeah, you just put Caden Proctor in the backfield.
Just put him in a wildcat and let him just run this thing in on 4th down. You know you can close the game right here with a conversion and a touchdown.
All right, here we go, 4th and goal. Simpson on 4th and goal to pass to the end zone. It is Daniel Hill, the 244-pound running back with the touchdown reception.
It's such a great job of Ty Simpson and Daniel Hill being on the same page in a hot situation. Missouri's going to blitz off the edge. The answer is right here in the flat. Ty Simpson sees it immediately. There's nobody blocking him. The answer in Ryan Grubb's offense is to throw the flat to the running back in a humongous moment on the road. 2 guys hooking up.
Salty with the extra point. Kalen DeBoer turned to us the other day and said it's the mental piece with Simpson. His resiliency. That's what has really improved. Like the ability, Jesse, to face a 4th and 8 right in the face and go downfield for 29 yards and then have a 4th and goal as well.
Yeah, moments don't get too much bigger than that big throw to Lottie Brooks earlier. Great job by Brooks. Great job by Simpson. They've got a 2-possession lead. Lots of pressure on Missouri.
Now 16-14. Back to you.
Nagandi was just teasing us. He knew that touchdown was coming. Yeah. And that's why he directed our attention there. We're on a delay, obviously.
Oh, Prabula. Can he get something going here as Jamal Roberts? Look at the extra yardage that Roberts gets
well, you're down,
to open up this drive.
You're down 10, Joe. In Missouri, you got to throw it. But we haven't seen them have any consistency in doing that to wide receivers down the field in this one. And so, you know, you're in this situation now. This is really all going to come down to Prabula and these guys outside getting it done.
3 timeouts remain for Mizzou. Trailing by 10. Prabula.
Wow.
That ball was at first bobbled and then secured by Johnson.
That's the second time he's made a ridiculous one-handed catch in this game. His catch radius here, for a guy that's only 5'11", has been unbelievable.
Mizzou moving fast. As he goes underneath and met immediately by Bray Hubbard was Ahmad Hardy.
And Bama's going to give that to you all day. They're going to play big prevent style zone coverage. They're going to keep the ball in front of them. If you want to throw checkdowns to your running back, they'll let you do that all day long.
On 2nd and 9. He's going to run it himself, and in doing so, he's going to have the first down and a heck of a lot more as we reach the 2-minute timeout. Missouri on the go, trailing by 10. Dejon Lee down at the end of that play. 2-minute timeout has arrived.
ABC College Football is presented by the Starbucks Coffee Company.
Oklahoma is 5-0. It's the Red River rivalry coming your way against Texas and Coach Sark. That is coming up right here on ABC. The Sooners 5-0, number 6 in the country. Missouri in front of us here, 5-0, number 14 in the country. But it's Alabama that has created so much momentum. The win against Georgia, the win against Vandy. And can they hold on here with under 2 minutes to play against Mizzou? Prabula back to pass for the Tigers. Threw it high and incomplete. Roberts couldn't control it.
Alabama's just not giving them anything deep down the field. They're taking it all away. Eli Drinkwitz is just hoping they can free somebody up down the field. And I'll go back to him again. Kevin Coleman, just 1 catch, 2 yards. And it's just been amazing. They have not been able to get him more touches or more involved in this game.
Second and 10 now for Mizzou. Prabula downfield, and he gets it complete inside the 5-yard line to Olubade.
The true freshman Olubade making a great catch with really good coverage behind him, and Deshaun Jones. There's finally a big one vertically down the field. The first time since the catch by Northfleet, Missouri is able to come up with a big one in the passing game.
29-yard reception. Now keep in mind, Olubade was on top of the Alabama defender, and I don't know that he didn't roll right into the end zone on top of Deshaun Jones.
Let's take a look at this again. Did his butt hit the ground there? They're sliding. The ball's not in the end zone when the knee touches it, I don't think. I think the ball's still probably short of the goal line once that knee does touch. But you're right, Joe. That was kind of a crazy play, how it ended.
I agree with you. Watch the position of the ball, no matter where his body is when he rolls over here.
Yeah, so I think there, obviously, he's down. It looks like he's short, but it should be spotted right at around the 1-yard line, I think.
Donovan Olubade, the true freshman, with a big catch that they had to have.
It took them over 58 minutes to finally take a shot vertically down the field to a wide receiver. They just don't do it enough. There just hasn't been enough aggressive play calling, I think, in the passing game. And finally, when they do get the true freshman Olubade, he comes up with a big one at a time they need it the most.
To your point of not airing it out very often, they came in today with the 3rd fewest yards per attempt in the SEC. Only 9 pass attempts over 20 yards.
After review, the receiver caught the pass and was down with the ball at the 3-yard line. Okay. It'll be first down. Please reset the game clock to 1:51. It'll start on the ready for play.
So they're actually going to mark it at the 3, Jesse.
Well, here, regardless, whether it's the 3 or the 1, they've got to score a touchdown, and they got to do it quickly now because they still have 3 timeouts. If they can score quick, they can burn those timeouts when Bama gets the ball back and still give themselves an opportunity if they can force a punt right around midfield. So still lots of football to go here with just 1:51 left.
But you got to get on the board. Ahmad Hardy is the featured back here. As Bo Prabula, guy who started his career at Penn State, trying to find some magic at Mizzou. To the end zone, and it's a touchdown with Olubade. Donovan Olubade, the touchdown reception with 1:39 to play.
Well, he had a chance to hit Coleman to the right. It wasn't there, but there was a complete bust in the back end for Alabama. And Olubade, I thought this was open here for a second. Nobody, though, takes the basic route at the back of the end zone for Alabama. Good job of Prabula getting through the progression. Good accurate throw. That's the quick score they needed.
True freshman kicker for the extra point, and Robert Meyer puts it right through. So a 7-play drive that, Jesse, only took 1:37.
Yeah, when you start trying to actually take shots down the field, sometimes good things happen. It's been Prabula hooking up with the 4-star out of high school, had offers from Georgia and Oregon. Eli Drinkwitz got him here at Missouri, and Olubade makes 2 big-time catches on back-to-back plays.
You got a top 15 matchup here with top 10 Alabama trying to hold on as we look at our college football rankings. Brought to you by AT&T.
A lot of shake-up here. Ohio State's got a tough one against Illinois coming up already. We know about this right here. Alabama in a dogfight right now. Ole Miss in a dogfight too. Texas A&M playing a Florida team that just upset Texas at home. Georgia's got to go to Jordan-Hare tonight in that environment. By the way, number 11 LSU's got a tough South Carolina team. This could be a lot of movement in the top 10 before the day is over.
And of course, coming up right here on ABC, it is Red River. It is number 6 Oklahoma against Texas. Now we will see how Missouri choose to play this here on the kickoff. As Lottie Brooks is all the way up near the 30-yard line, the return man. And Alabama is putting everybody there at the 46. And they were going for the onside with that unique position of the ball as Alabama uses a timeout. What you see there, Jesse, when you see the kickoff specialist lay the ball, what we call it watermelon style.
Right.
He's looking for the helicopter rotation spin instead of that traditional double bounce pop-up jump ball spin.
Which oftentimes just lands right into the belly of somebody on the return team, right? So you're giving yourself better odds with that kind of ball rotation you're talking about.
By the way, it has been 4 years since Missouri recovered an onside kick.
Never done it in SEC play, though. So this would be a first. No better time than the present right now.
Something else they've never done in the SEC, and that's beat Alabama. Last Mizzou win against Alabama was in 1975. Ty Simpson, the SEC's passing leader, 3 touchdown passes today. But now, how can they manage things here in the final moments to hand Missouri their first loss? Or is there something left with Mizzou? Here's the onside kick attempt. And Alabama able to recover as Cole Adams secures it. Their punt returner, wide receiver, he's got great hands.
And he was aggressive. Like, he went and attacked that football. I was watching, and I'm like, I don't even know if that thing's going to go 10 yards, to be honest. And Cole Adams just went after it, took a big gamble and big risk, and it's an impressive job reeling this thing in. A lot of nerves in that position, and because of it, Bama now at the 41-yard line.
Remember, 3 timeouts for Mizzou.
Yep.
So they can use all those timeouts, but if Bama gets a first down, different story. And victory formation will be theirs. Jam Miller, starting running back, is out. Took a big hit after converting a 4th down earlier. Here's Daniel Hill as he carries a defender ahead. Remember, he weighs 244 pounds.
Isn't that nice? So you lose a 220-pounder in Jam Miller. Now you got a true sophomore, 244, coming in, just trying to fall forward and drag the pile.
And key sequence that happened earlier here in this second half. Mizzou from their own 37, they fake the punt and give credit to Dre Washington with the heads-up play for Bama.
Isn't it amazing? We've seen Jam Miller and Kevin Riley and Daniel Hill all make these plays at running back. Dre Washington may have made the biggest one, and then Ty Simpson coming up with one of his best throws of the year on 4th down to Lottie Brooks to help set up that touchdown pass to Daniel Hill.
Lottie Brooks had the 29-yard reception on what was 4th and 8. Daniel Hill had the 2-yard touchdown reception on what was 4th and goal because of that guy right there, Ty Simpson, who has really emerged as the season has gone along. Hill again, straight ahead. Of course, Mizzou with that second timeout.
It's a lot of push, and that's why it's nice to have depth in a stable, and that's one thing Kalen DeBoer and Alabama have been able to recruit at that position. All these running backs, one way or another, whether on offense or on special teams, getting it done. Surprisingly, no Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams, the star wide receiver, 1 target, no catches. Keep in mind, Parker Brailsford, the center, has a reception off a deflection. And Caden Proctor, the left tackle, carried the ball in a wildcat formation. And Williams hasn't touched the ball.
He's one of their, if not their most explosive guy on offense. He's so sudden and he can separate. It seems like every game he's coming up with a big play. Obviously, he's been very inconsistent this year with drops. But, I mean, did not have that on my bingo card. Number 2 not having any catches in this one.
So now the big moment for Mizzou, the 3rd and 3. With that last timeout to use, if they can come up with a stop. And that's what they do. Tackled for a loss was Daniel Hill as the entire front rallied with Tristan Newson making the tackle.
So, I think if you're Kalen DeBoer here, I don't think you trust Connor Talty. I don't know if you do for a field goal. I think you have to punt the ball and just try to pin them as deep as possible and count on your defense. Now, this is a big decision here for Kalen DeBoer. I think if you risk going for it, you don't get it. Now all of a sudden, Prabula has it back somewhere around his own 35. Only down 3. I think you got to be conservative and just punt this thing.
You see Connor Talty, a place kicker.
He missed a long one earlier in this game.
He did, from 49. Under 40, Talty has been salty, but over 40, that's where Talty has been a little faulty.
See what you did there.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
So 1:25 to play and a 3-point lead for Alabama as Missouri did what they had to do defensively, used all 3 timeouts.
The offense is out there, Joe. I don't know if they have like a quick kick thing they do, but this is a big play, and a big decision.
Offense on the field for 4th and 5. Bama says, let's put it away right here, right now. 4th down and 5. Possibly not. Let's see how they approach this with Simpson at the line. Could be just a hard count. And that is indeed the case as Mizzou stands their ground defensively, focused and disciplined. And they will walk back the delay of game. Blake Dowd, the redshirt senior punter from Colorado, will head on out. Only punted once a week ago in that win against Vandy. Can he pin Mizzou? It is fielded, and Coleman scoots ahead towards the 18-yard line as Hubbard cut him down. So now the stage is set for Missouri. 5-0 at home, looking to make history. A top 15 matchup for the first time here since 1979. Haven't beaten a top 15 team in a spot like this, in a matchup like this, since 1976. And it's been 50 years since toppling Bama. No timeouts, trailing by 3. Prabula looking for an option. Throws it away.
Here's the thing. You don't have any timeouts now if you're Prabula, but you do have the sideline to work with, and also under 2 minutes to go at the end of each half, the game clock will stop on a first down while the sticks are reset. So you can still attack the middle of the field so long as it's vertical down the field. There's opportunities here. The question is, who's the guy that can step up? We've seen Marquise Johnson make some one-handed grabs. Olubade so good at the end of that last grab, catching the touchdown.
Mizzou has won 15 straight home games, but Bama has come to town with so much momentum, and they're playing down to the wire. Prabula's going to check down to Roberts, and Roberts is tackled by Justin Jefferson.
Well, that was a great job by Roberts just to fight and try and get out of bounds to at least stop the clock. Jefferson, one of the best tacklers on Alabama, is trying to keep him in bounds to keep the game clock running. So I know that wasn't a massive gain, but it was a really nice effort after the catch by Roberts. There's a substitution issue right now for Missouri, struggling getting the right personnel on the field. They got to hurry up.
3rd down and 6. No timeouts remaining. Mizzou trying to stay unbeaten. Prabula with a little bit of pressure. Downfield, it's incomplete. It is incomplete over the head of Marquise Johnson.
Wow, and I wonder if Kane Womack, the D coordinator for Alabama, will do that again here on the last play of the game, potentially. 4th down for their defense. That time, dialing up the safety pressure, not giving Prabula an opportunity to survey too much. Do you do it twice in a row if you're Womack?
4th down and 6. Game on the line for number 14, Mizzou. The home winning streak. Prabula's going to launch it downfield, and it is caught by Olubade. The true freshman is coming up huge here late.
That's the 3rd massive catch for Olubade here on these last 2 drives. One-on-one with the best corner guy Bama has, and Damani Jackson. Nice job by Prabula putting air under it on a back shoulder throw. Nice adjustment in midair by the true freshman.
A 25-yard reception to stay alive. Can they get in field goal range for a true freshman kicker whose long is from 40? Prabula checks down, and it's incomplete. No timeouts remaining. 48 seconds. There is Robert Meyer, the true freshman. When the starter earlier this year, Blake Craig, tore his ACL, and Meyer has been thrown into the fire. Will he get his opportunity to try to tie this game?
They probably got to get another 23 yards or so to give him that chance. 48 seconds. I think you're thinking if we can get this thing near the 30-yard line, we're giving Meyer a good opportunity to send this thing into OT.
Second and 10, Prabula. To the outside, incomplete.
I don't know if Marquise Johnson could have caught that or not, but that was a good decision to let that thing go. Because if he did catch that, and he's made ridiculous catches today, he's going to get tackled inbounds right away, and the clock is going to stop.
There is the freshman. Just along a 41. Still work to be done by the Mizzou offense. And Bo Prabula. 3rd down and 10. Oh, it is intercepted. Intercepted by Alabama Dijon Lee. And that will do it.
It's the 2nd time in this quarter Prabula has tried to go down the seam. This time it was Alubade having to fight through 2 different defenders to get into the area. A bit of an errant throw by Prabula again. And Dijon Lee, the true freshman, comes up with the biggest play of his young career at Alabama to ice this football game.
Hey, Mizzou came into this game at 5-0, playing the 109th strength of schedule so far. But they knew from this point forward, the 7th hardest. We said earlier today, that means, yes, you're 5-0, but it's a show-me game in the show-me state. What did they show you today?
Well, that they have fight, and they're going to take chances, and they're going to try and be aggressive. We know they're a physical team. They're going to have to rely on that. For Alabama, I'm just impressed what they've got in the tank physically, because I think they actually won this game in the trenches against the nation's best run defense in Missouri. They ran it well themselves, and they showed they've still got some stuff left in the tank emotionally. After a big win against Georgia, then a big win against Vandy, you come in here in this tough environment, and they make the plays they need to make. Ty Simpson continues to play at a Heisman level, and if he keeps doing that, Joe, Alabama's got a shot to go a very long way.
Katie's with Coach.
Thanks, Tess. Coach DeBoer, you made some big-time decisions there in the 4th quarter. What gave you the confidence to go for it on 4th and 8 and then again on the goal line?
You just got to trust your guys. We practice these situations all the time. We said a year ago and all off season we got to be great in critical positions and it's critical times, and obviously we could have done better here at the end, but there were some critical moments that we went and made plays.
What did you think of the poise and execution all phases of the ball showed late in this game?
Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes out there that we made that could have helped us, but I will say, like, our guys are resilient, and I love the fight in them. They're looking to make plays, be solution oriented, and they're sticking together. I can't blame that, man. I love that about us.
Big road win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jess, I'm laughing at the graphic that our guys put up because he's 12-2 now in the black hoodie. Just keep wearing the black hoodie. Hey, this team is not the team you saw week 1 against Florida State. Bama's rolling 5-1, hands Missouri their first loss of the season. Let's get you back to our college football scoreboard studio with Kevin and Booger. Gentlemen, take it away.